Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Bowder speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Bueno. Aquí volvemos en el Día de los Reyes Magos. Eso es. Excelente. ¿Y qué mejor día para debutar otra reseña de un gacha español? Ya que lo prometí ayer. Aunque esta vez no lo voy a hacer solo. Esta vez tengo a una invitada que solicitó estar aquí ella misma. Así que por favor, mira a Ghostie.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Okay, I'm not going to do the whole video in Spanish. I just had to open it up like... I'm not ready for my Spanish lesson. Hey, you there. Why can't you just get your Spanish lesson done? Okay, that's enough of that. But this is actually a Spanish video, but like I said in the description, I have actually found one by pure chance. It was recommended to me that had English subtitles. So we are going to...
That is the reason I'm here.
Yeah, we are going to...
Other than that, I wouldn't touch this.
Yeah.
I would just stay a good distance away because I cannot speak Spanish.
Fair enough. I thought you were here for the
I can only read
drama.
Russian.
Oh, you speak some Russian. I forgot about that.
Oh no, I can't speak it, but I can read it.
Oh, I see.
Which confuses me greatly.
Actually, for me, that makes perfect sense. I mean, people will have different opinions on languages and how it's easy to learn these different things. Like they've got you have reading, writing, speaking, and listening, and people say there's different levels of difficulty for each of them. As far as I'm concerned, the difficulty goes reading, writing, listening, speaking, because with reading you're absorbing some stuff that you have all the time in the world, unless you're being timed for an exam, which I understand. Writing, you're regurgitating what you've got already, applying that, and probably with some assistance potentially. Listening, you have to bear in mind to someone's tone of voice, their accent, their dialect, their speed of speech as well. And with speaking, you have to combine everything that you've already that they've learnt into one thing in the moment, with all that pressure that entails.
Like that, and I run in roleplay circles where sometimes a whole bunch of different languages are thrown at me at once.
Are you in the QSMP?
No, but it seems cool. But no.
That's the first example I thought about. Also, yes, I do love a song too. That's actually the song that made me discover CG5 back in 2019. And in fact, I actually performed this in a lip sync competition, which confused everyone because they all picked pop songs that were relatively known, and I picked internet stuff. I also picked What a Foul Day by the Stupendium, so you can imagine exactly how that went. This focusing goes to present for La Venganza stream. Yeah, not the April Fool's one, the one that I did later where I was actually translating everything. So yeah, but this time we are going to go and we are going to share screens. I'm going to share my screen this time because the subtitles are YouTube captions. So which will mean that I won't be able to see everything in the description at all times. So I'll have my phone with the stream as well, so I can read stuff out. So I'll be putting too many comments on the screen today. And here we go. Oh, and in the meantime, speaking of this stuff, that's very small. Hold on a second. Can I just... Whoa! Okay. All right. So yeah, to read that out. Yeah. Year 2030. A world emergency is declared. All the plants stop producing CO2 because of the high pollution in the environment. The end seemed to be approaching until some scientists discovered a mineral that had the same characteristics as CO2 and that, transformed to a liquid substance, could be injected into our organism and give us the same capacities to be able to live. I already have questions, but I'm going to continue reading.
It is magic, science, science, magic. Don't question.
Yeah, but also, why did it have to be CO2? Like, CO2 is what we exhale. Why would like applying direct CO2 into our bodies be a good thing?
Like, CO2 is what we. Yeah, you have a point there. CO2 is what we exhale. Wouldn't it make more sense for the rock to be an oxygen substitute?
Yeah. Also, yeah. Do people know why carbon monoxide is so dangerous for humans or for anything really? It's so dangerous because it's unstable and it wants to become carbon dioxide, and it does that by bonding with oxygen atoms that we already have, depriving us of oxygen, and that's why it's so dangerous. So having more carbon dioxide, which is the end result of carbon monoxide poisoning in the first place, is not a good idea.
Why? So these people are basically injecting poison into their body.
Yes,
Great.
potentially, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know, unless their bodies have adapted in such a way.
Yeah, but I don't think they had enough time to do so.
This could. I mean, let's not think of the science behind that because clearly the creator didn't.
Yeah, I mean that should be given with like plants producing CO2, because like the oxygen is a byproduct of photosynthesis because there's excess oxygen after it's converted from glucose. It takes, if anything, it takes CO2. It's the opposite. That's why we need plants.
Please. Like, if anything, this creator clearly didn't pay too much attention in science class.
Yeah, or at least like tried to, but misinterpreted what was being said. At the very least.
I don't like. I came in here with high hopes, but those hopes are slowly dropping.
Yeah, this is how the substance was called oxygen, a vital liquid for every human being today in the year 3050. So we're not in 2030. That was the origin, which means that this has been going on for 1020 years.
Wait. I would also like to say, they clearly know what oxygen is, but they decided to name the liquid oxygen instead of.
Yeah. And in case anyone thinks that this is meant to be actual liquid oxygen, it's not. Liquid oxygen is freezing cold, quite literally. It's not a good idea. In fact, I think there was in a James Bond movie, the villain is defeated after falling into liquid oxygen and freezing. So, yeah, no. It might have been nitrogen. Don't quote me on that.
Like, look up liquid oxygen. There are literally whole-on videos of people freezing things with that.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's why it's oxygen in quotes, because it's not actually meant to be that.
Human race dead yet? No, Bond. Human race not dead.
Yeah,
it
should be. It's been 1020 years. How does it? I mean, I know that when you compare how global warming is affecting us now and how long it's going to take to clear that up, we measure that in our lifetimes. But this is lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes. If there's that much pollution in the atmosphere,
do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that the way this could have worked is if the plants are clearly still around. Think about Wall-E, for example, where all of the plants are gone except for the one they find in the movie. And that's the whole point. And that's why the Earth is no longer safe for human habitation. But they get one plant back, they take care of it, and supposedly that's when they're trying to, restart the ecosystem of the Earth that can sustain life. So, was it the will of the plants to stop producing CO2? Because this went from the Lorax to the Happening.
Also, I'm just gonna say, maybe it's the case to where there's actively a smog in the sky, so there's not enough sunlight coming through for the plants.
Maybe. I think I did skim the video a bit, and I did see there was some bright shots. I skimmed it because I wanted to see like how the subtitles were formatted, and that's why we're on screen share mode. So I don't know like the story. I will say the story actually like intrigued me the way that they narrated it until I read the description, and now I'm thinking that I might have hyped this up too much.
Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah. Okay. However, now where again this resource is scarce and a great theft occurs together with an organization with unknown purposes.
A great theft occurs.
Yeah. What will become of our two protagonists when they have few options to follow a fairly normal life? That's an interesting one. And also the tagline for this, like you can see, because vidIQ shows me the thumbnails. That's how I get the thumbnail captures for Gacha review, by the way. Yeah, the tagline here is "When living has a price," and that to me feels like the blurb for a movie. So, again, what that's
Like maybe
huh?
This liquid oxygen is expensive. Who knows? Who knows?
Okay, cut out for a second. I thought they couldn't hear you. Well, I guess we're about to find out. Let me just look at this. This should have been called Ice Age 7 Liquid Oxygen Dystopia. Yeah, after Blue Sky Studios closed their doors, this is what they sold off all their scripts, and Miel got one of them.
Actually, no. Hold on a second. Ghost Kitty, Spring Boy is here with the snow and cold emojis. Ghost Kitty is also asking if I'm ready for more gotcha Spanish torture. No, actually. Usually Spanish gotcha videos are pretty good. For some reason, the Spanish are better at telling stories than the English.
I think it's because they're not like because they're not like as exposed to the same trends. Like obviously I've dabbled in like the Spanish side of YouTube in general, and yes, there is a lot of find like YouTube as a whole, there's a lot of times where Spanish creators will copy trends from English ones because they know those could be recognizable, because those ones have like much more of a reach. However, they also have their own trends, their own creators that they're ripping off of each other, their own references and memes and such, and therefore you get like both of those things. So I guess with like more sources to take from, you get more options for originality. I mean, right off the bat, I thought this was going to be like something with like, you know, corporate and political themes and that idea, which was again present in the Lorax, because that's kind of what happens. But yeah, I guess we'll find out either way. But I haven't seen a premise like this addressed anywhere else. In fact, the most philosophically inclined gacha series that I've seen so far is Fallen Angels. So that's like the only example. So I'm hoping this will also be the same. But I guess we'll find out. So I've got captions turned on. Just gonna check, make sure there's yeah, okay. All right. And well, I guess we'll see. So and the question that Ghost Kitty was asking was, you think it will be better or worse than La Venganza?
Better? Like, I just have the hunch that it might be better. I have high hopes because the premise, even though the science is completely wrong, is rather interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So with that in mind, let's let it grow. I mean, let the video play. Without further ado, on with the review.
Also, by the way, we cannot see the video.
Oh, I hadn't started playing it yet. Oh, all right, there we go. I guess I haven't started playing yet. I was just reading the description. Oh, I had the whole time. Okay, fair enough. I'll just put in the restream, and here we go. That you're watching, so that's one thing that they got from English gacha tubers.
No, I will say up front, the OC design is pretty cute.
Yeah. Also, the name goes back to what BB was saying about like different types of food making it into gacha usernames. That means bread of honey. Okay. Yes, viewer discretion is advised. Use headphones for a better experience. I got you.
Yeah, we got you, boo. We're done with the sickness.
Pensábamos que todo andaba bien.
Oh, hold on. Is that? Oh, I forgot the. I was gonna say, where were the captions? There they are.
Okay, I expected there to be a smog or something, and that's why the plants couldn't produce.
There are actively plants in this shot, so this is the first. This is the opening shot of the movie.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, I'm looking in the stream, and yeah, you can actually see the you can see the captions. All right.
Also, everyone, male and female, has the same eyes so far.
Yeah. Again, this first shot, so we'll see. They have the same eye shape. Eye color seems to vary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 3 of them. One was walking in front of a post, but again, outside of masking, that's difficult to account for.
Like,
Que solo podíamos...
could you just replay that for a second? Something about that pan didn't seem right.
Okay. Oh. Alright.
Pensábamos que todo andaba bien. Que solo podíamos ignorar el problema.
Which, sorry, I'm not sure which part you meant.
The panning shot. I don't know,
Okay.
but it seems like the character in the foreground is walking walking slower than everyone in the background. And the camera isn't focused on anything. It's just free floating.
Yeah, not sure about that.
Solo podíamos ignorar el
I'm guessing it's not pre-rendered.
problema.
Nope.
Pero no nos dimos cuenta de nuestro grave error. Hasta que sucedió.
Oh, okay, so here we got a little bit of a smog at least.
A little bit.
Nos informan que los niveles de contaminación en la atmósfera han sobrepasado el promedio estos últimos
I actually quite enjoy the visual effects so far.
Yeah, I'm wondering why the TV is so glitchy in universe, but it's at least a good effect that's being pulled off.
como medida de salud mundial ante la situación.
Las plantas no podrán producir más oxígeno.
Oh, well, it's a prediction that they got wrong. It was 2030 that they seem to have. Oh, is that the teapot on the... Okay, it's a teapot right on the desk. I'm guessing just the translated British news.
British news.
Hmm.
Like, I'm guessing that it's flipping past several channels from all over the world.
Maybe. I question what TV has access to a bunch of news channels from around the world this quickly.
I don't know, maybe they have streaming.
Yeah, also why does the newsreader have a headset and another microphone from the 20th century?
Because this is created in Gacha.
Okay.
Debido a la gran contaminación en la atmósfera, llegó un punto donde las plantas no podían generar más oxígeno.
Okay, so see there it says oxygen. It doesn't say, it says CO2 in the description, so I'm confused. Did someone like call that out as if that was wrong? Because that person was wrong if they did so.
Y todo apuntaba a que el fin de la raza humana.
Yeah, okay, the end of the human race and every other race that exists, everything that lives except for some very primitive creatures that don't actually rely on oxygen that still survive to this day, miraculously. They're rare, but they do still exist.
They do still exist, yeah.
Yeah. KW says, I googled Three Kings Day. All I get was When Three Kings Day. It's not like When Broly.
When Three Kings Day?
Not what is Three Kings Day. Okay, well, in that case, I will tell you. In Spain, and as I learnt last year, also Mexico, potentially some other places, instead of getting Christmas presents on Christmas Day, instead it's the three wise men that bring presents to kids, and they do so on January 6th, which is supposed to be the day of Epiphany, or well, it was like January 5th, but midnight, so it bleeds into the 6th, and that's why. So yeah, Three Kings Day is the 6th. That's when the presents received, and on the 5th you have all of the different parades and celebrations, and asking for the gifts from specific kings and whatever. So that basically, it's also the origin for my obsession with the Three Wise Men, and the reason I did like the parkour map and the choir song from this year for the Christmas special. Yeah. Well, that and the fact that because I was in Spain when I learned about the song, we performed as a choir, I was like, it was in my mind. Yeah. Guys, I suppose I'm good with hamsters. I wouldn't eat or what? Oh, okay. Sorry, that's a thing that's going on. So how often are captions so far? Not at all, really. I haven't seen anything so far. They do fly by very quickly, but for the yeah, I don't think there's anything I would change so far, at least.
Llegaría. Sin embargo, en un lugar remoto fuera de la civilización, científicos encontraron un mineral que al parecer era otra fuente de oxígeno.
The scientists were able to slide on command as they reposition themselves without moving their feet.
Like, it was also a sliding with the pan shot earlier I tried to point out. So clearly none of these pans are pre-rendered.
Yeah.
Así fue como transformaron este mineral en un líquido que podría ser inyectado en nuestra sangre para así poder vivir. Por esta razón, aquella sustancia ahora es denominada oxígeno.
This, like, that one guy in the foreground was cradling his bottle of oxygen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to hold that like your life depends on it, because it does.
Oxígeno. Y necesitamos al menos una dosis cada cierto tiempo.
Oh yeah, we need at least one dose every so often. How very, very precise. I guess because people's bodies are different and therefore they can't really give like recommend. They can like at least recommend a time frame for like the average like weight of an adult or something like that. I don't know.
Para poder vivir sin dificultades. Aunque ahora el mundo ha seguido su rumbo.
I just love the idea of like let me just pause in the middle of the road to eat something. That's gonna go well for me.
Ahora el mundo ha seguido su rumbo. Bien es cierto que el oxígeno solo se puede conseguir comprándolo a través de grandes empresas que lo venden como.
This is what I was talking about, by the way. This is why I said the Lorax before. This is like the same plot as like O'Hare selling air, but yeah.
Yeah, except in the Lorax, when O'Hare sells air, it's literally just a thing that happens, and it's not a big topic of discussion. Meanwhile, here it kind of is, and I like it because it seems like it's going to be handled more.
You would hope so. They've had to get used to it for 1,020 years.
Also, you put the breathing juice in the hands of large corporations, which was your mistake. Do not trust corporations to handle important things.
Oh, but apparently the caption.
Oh, there it goes, Jacob. Your microphone popped and now we can no longer hear you.
Yeah, I was saying that.
I was saying it.
I pressed the button too many times. If I press it too many times, it goes off. Anyway, so apparently the captions are too hard to read, so I'm going to put them like that. Wait, that's gonna block. We're gonna block some of the captions if we do it like that.
Yeah, especially if somebody else joins the stream.
Oh no, that
just makes it worse.
Yeah, I don't think I have a solution for that, honestly. I think you might have to full screen the video and go off live chat. I guess that's the first. That's not a point of review. The captions. Well, I guess that's what we like if ever the video, because like I can't be like, oh, the captions are too small to read on a shrunken version of the screen for a review video. How dare you? But I
could just start reading the captions.
I think they go by too quickly for that to really be viable in most cases. Yeah, exactly.
As if it were another product on the market.
Yeah.
Which has generated great debate in these last years.
I love the fact that I chose a voice-acted video with captions because I thought it was going to be easy to get through.
Un gran debate en estos últimos años.
Yeah, in these last years, this last millennia, no biggie.
No es un mundo muy bonito para vivir.
What a great start for this character. It's not a very beautiful world to live in. Okay.
What are you talking about?
It does actually characterize someone immediately. Like that opening line. Also, I like the logo at the bottom there for the graffiti.
Also, is her outfit outlined black?
I think it is, yes.
Oh god.
As are the gloves on the other guy and the trousers.
And his bracelet.
Yep.
Oh no.
Alright. How is everyone having the same eye shape? Well, I guess we can confirm that now. At least it isn't the default eyes.
What are you
Hashtag
talking-
make a how to pre-render and masking video. I think those are going to be two separate guides, KW, mostly because masking is a very advanced technique, and pre-rendering is just a standard that can be applied fairly easily. So I'll probably put pre-rendering with, like, I don't know, something else.
¿De qué hablas?
What are you
¿Desde cuándo
talking about?
estabas allí?
Since when are you the thing?
Since when were you there? Was, or did it say the wrong thing? No, so yeah, since when were you there? Yeah.
Es
Are they both girls or is one of them a guy?
Pretty
I
sure the one
actively
to the
can't
right is a
tell.
guy. Yeah.
¿Ya terminaste de arreglar esa cosa?
¿Cosa?
Oh.
No me digas que te refieres a seguramente la mejor patineta que hayas visto en tu vida.
That's okay. That's not inaccurate. Like, weirdly enough, the captions on that last part work better as a sentence, I think, than the actual dialogue, which is interesting because I thought like the idea of doing this this in Spanish was the fact that the creator doesn't speak English as a first language and therefore made the thing, but then translated it because again, speaking is the most difficult part of any language, in my opinion, and so you cut that out, do some captions, and that's all you need. However, now I'm not so sure because of, I don't know, maybe that was just like an up one out thing. Yeah. A protagonist who hates living in their world. I'm just gonna kick into a therapy office with Adam and Giovanni. I think that's how it was spelled. I think it was how it was spelled too. Yeah, Giovanni from La Venganza.
Like, the world isn't terrible, but you gotta admit, putting air in the hands of capitalism probably, like, isn't the best idea.
Yeah, that's actually where I thought like the whole debate was going to come in. I mean, essentially, like we still have there's still debates about that. They still have like that concern with things like, well, just food and water, I suppose, especially water. I say that because that's on my mind as of recently because we had a water plant get contaminated recently, and therefore we were out of water for like a few days. And yeah, I guess that kind of depends because that water was supposed to be free, meant to be compensated for it afterwards. But then you also have like the commercial companies that also sell it. Maybe that's how this could have been done ethically if the oxygen was, if there was like prime oxygen, like it's more purified. It contains less nitrogen mixed in with it or something like that. I don't know.
Also, this guy is talking about his, like, skateboard.
Yeah.
This is a very old model and it hardly works, but I guess we don't have anything to lose by trying it.
Yeah, it kind of has to be an old model considering that you're 1,020 years in the future, and no, I'm not letting that go. Maybe they probably would have like the actual Back to the Future hoverboards by this point.
Oh,
Bueno, es un modelo muy
very
antiguo
old
y
model.
casi
Yeah, the old model, that's the line you just read out right now.
Yeah,
I
it's
think the problem with like reading out the captions beforehand is that they start before the line they're supposed to be. They're supposed to like talk
si no
over.
funciona, pero supongo que no perdemos nada intentándolo.
You're both gonna try the same skateboard? Oh, all right.
So she just walked away without the skateboard.
Yeah, I guess we can try it. By we, I mean you, owner of the skateboard. I am not involved in this.
Well, it works. It will work.
Yes. Hot take: outline black isn't bad if you use other colors with it, so it doesn't hide anything. Since those characters have other colors, it's fine. I've rarely seen outline black just used like purely on its own. I don't know.
A funcionar.
Ahí está, Miss Lucia, dueña de una gran cadena de ropa.
Miss Lucia. There is Miss Lucia, owner of the clothing chain. Like,
yeah, a clothing chain. This is where a caption I can say is slightly inaccurate. So there is does not mean anything, but ahí está. The difference is that you have to say like there she is. A lot of the time in Spanish, you can actually like obscure. You can like not use pronouns in everything because the verbs being conjugated already imply like what person you're talking about. So you don't need them. So a lot of the time you'll get, instead of saying like, yo estoy sentado, I'm sat down, I would just be like, estoy sentado, and it being the exact same thing. So that's why that doesn't work there. So there she is. Miss Lucia, owner of a grand clothing chain, is what they actually said. So it's got to make sure that that's important. It's got to be a grand clothing chain. So very well off. And on top of that, the line is pointless anyway because it is terrible exposition that the other character most likely already knows. All right, sorry, Ghostie, you were going to say something.
I was also going to say, like, she owns a clothing chain, but her outfit. God, her outfit.
I'm gonna cast doubt on that because I mean, this is the year 3050. It's very possible that fashion trends. I said the same thing with YouTube Academy. It's very possible that fashion trends have moved on to such a point where this is considered normal, or potentially because she is the owner of a clothing chain, she pushes like whatever runway fashion they have to promote their brand, and therefore wears extravagant material as a result.
Yeah, I understand, but as Ghost Kitty is pointing out, hot pink outlines.
Okay, yeah, again, by today's standards, hot pink outlines are not good. I don't know. Yeah, sure, fair enough. I will also point out that the bag matches her outfit, and that cannot be a coincidence. I'm sure that's her own products.
Y probablemente una de las personas más importantes hoy en día.
Probably one of the most important people today.
Very interesting that this society that is short on the essentials to live values capitalism.
Clothing?
Yeah, there's a lot you can read into that, I suppose, but we'll get to that point in the video at some point, at some stage.
Sin duda lleva oxígeno en su bolso.
You certainly have oxygen in your bag, or at least enough money to buy it.
Again, another conjugation error. She certainly must have oxygen in her bag, or at least enough money to buy it, is the line that was said.
It is the line that was said. Oh god, these subtitles.
Yeah, it seems that so far the only error that comes up is verb conjugation, which again is a specific class in school, so maybe again misinterpreted information.
Maybe.
Para comprarlo.
Así es. Rápido, es nuestra oportunidad.
Quick, is our chance. Not it is our chance, but is our chance. Yeah, how is this your chance? She's distracted and her bag is pointing away from her. I don't know how you're going to pull this off unless you're like the Artful Dodger from Oliver Twist. Okay, apparently you are, never mind. Oh, okay, so it is a hoverboard. I was right earlier. Okay.
I still can't unsee the fact that the orange person looks like Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my. Also, so is the skateboard. The skateboard matches the outfit. Everyone has a consistent color scheme. This really is like an Aiden video. It's got the political intrigue, the philosophy, and the consistent color schemes.
Yeah, except unlike an Aiden video, I hope the philosophy isn't lost through action set pieces. Because that is my one main problem with Fallen Angels.
Say that again.
That the philosophy is kind of lost in the action set pieces.
Okay, I mean, how do you mean? Just so I know, because I'm like kind of responsible for a lot of those philosophy scenes specifically.
Like, the philosophy is good, but I would enjoy more philosophy and less action set pieces.
Oh, okay. So I thought you meant like there was something. Okay,
As
I
much
see
as
what you mean now.
As much as I enjoy action set pieces, it kind of detracts from the philosophy.
Yeah, I suppose that has the same dichotomy as the Matrix, which might not be the best comparison. Now I've said that out loud.
Bien, Blas. De ahora en
God
adelante, recuérdame.
bless. From
Hold
now on, remind me to never trust your great gift to repair things.
Recuérdame nunca más confiar en tus grandes dotes para reparar cosas.
Como sea.
Whatever.
Okay, again. All right. I'm starting to get suspicious now because como sea, at least to my knowledge, is not a phrase that would be used. It is the literal translation of whatever, but you wouldn't say como sea in the same way, or at least I wouldn't. Maybe because like clearly all the accents in this video are from Latin America, so it's entirely possible that because I grew up in Spain, that something's being lost for me here. But at least
Like,
from my perspective, it seems like you would say like "lo que tú digas" or instead of like "como sea." I've never heard anyone actually use that specifically.
I am gonna say one thing. Why does it feel like some of these subtitles were just crammed through Google Translate? And that's why they're incorrect?
I think that might be it, because if you cram stuff in with Google Translate and you have like left out the lack of pronouns, the Google Translate will not identify that there's something missing there. In fact, the reason we had like the your before is because like the third person singular that you would use in Spanish is the same as you would use for like second person like formal. So instead of like she, it becomes you, and that's what it must be identifying. And in Latin America, it is actually more common to use a formal greeting than it is an informal one, and therefore the conjugation is exactly the same. But Google Translate is not programmed to identify that because, quite honestly, how could it? It has to guess if it's one thing or the other. It's always going to like pick one thing and you can't tell unless you have someone like watching over that.
There is this subtitle, "You are not allowed to speak, still stand to identify them," and my only reaction to that is, Ecto Taiko, what the fuck are you saying? What are you saying? What are you trying to speak to me?
I don't know. That line hasn't been said yet, so let's hear what it actually is.
No tienen permitido hablar. Quédense quietos.
Oh, okay. It is just you're not allowed to speak, and like is this just literally, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Identificarlos.
I mean, no. I mean, like, it's like the arrest speech, not the wedding one. I said the wrong thing.
Quiero verlos entre rejas.
I want to see you both behind bars.
Por favor, cálmese. Primero tenemos que ver las faltas anteriores.
Okay, so again, we're saying please come over to look at previous fouls. What's meant to be here is like, like previous, like, if they have a criminal record, essentially, rather than like fouls on a football match or something. But of course, because falta, it can mean like mistake, infraction, several more things. It can apply to more situations. But again, a translator would not know. It has to guess one thing or the other. And so it will usually, if there's more than two options, it's more likely to be wrong than it is right. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's why I'm suspicious about like the como sea thing. Maybe it is just a Latin American phrase, because otherwise it means that sometimes the English like translation is better than the Spanish one. And we've only ever seen that phenomenon in Code Lyoko so far, which has the excuse of being originally made in French, and therefore both versions that we've watched have been translations, so they have advantages over each other. But not in this case. At least I don't think so. Was this originally in French? I don't think it was. Oh dear.
Oh, so Ghost Kitty, you want me to explain what's happening so far? So basically, these two are kids or teenagers who can't afford air. So they are preying on rich people who can't afford air. This lady with
And
the
they've
weird
been rumbled.
outfit owns a fashion chain, and they were after her purse because they thought she'd have air or the money to purchase air.
Yeah. And also, speaking of fashion and clothes and such, I like the new police uniforms, actually. Again, it's the year 3050, so some of this stuff would have had to have been changed. That being said, ew, eye patch in the background.
Like, eye patches are not bad. There's a reason for them.
Yeah.
He's a background character. He literally just stands there and looks pretty.
Oh, by the way, KW also says that that's about Google Translate. People say if you do one sentence at a time, it's accurate, but if you do a whole paragraph, that will not be accurate. I have had perfect results from Google Translate in French from that verified by a teacher who hates Google Translate and didn't know that I used it, specifically because I only used it for certain words and maybe like one full sentence maximum. But even like a full sentence is a difficult thing to try and identify. But again, if you put like one word into Google Translate, usually it will come up with a bunch of synonyms. It will tell you like the main one, but it also like show different things at the bottom and the definitions of them. So it's more comprehensive if you go like stage by stage. But yeah,
like,
I'm guessing
clearly
that
this
a
writer...
full script, you're not going to want to try and wait, even though you probably should.
Clearly this writer just popped the whole script into Google Translate and hoped for the best.
Yeah.
I can tell because when your subtitles don't make sense, you have a problem because you're accidentally going to alienate part of your audience.
Especially when ENG SUB is the first words in the title, and also the reason I picked the video in the first place.
This is not possible. Do you know that my time is wasted money? Spoil them now.
I don't know what that's supposed to be. I was gonna make a point about like the title of this video and how I know that like this like YouTube Spain has a feature that at one point back in the day allowed like translations of videos. But the thing is, it actually delivers some very, very interesting results. Like if I put in here el ignorador de abuelas, which is the title of an Auronplay video. Auronplay is a very well-known Spanish YouTuber, now Twitch streamer. And if I put that in, what that means is like the guy who ignores grandmothers, the ignorer of grandmothers. What does YouTube come up with if you put that in? Oh, okay, it just puts the actual title. Okay, hold on, let me just check to see if the video. The Granny's Ignorator. Grannies with 3 N's. I never noticed that. The grannies. So yeah. That's what happens. Oh, the description is also translated. Fair enough. Follow on with the transcript. No, thank you. I don't want to do that. Okay. All right, back to this video. What did we get up to? Can that be the title of today's video? What, the Granny's Ignorator, the title of this video? I really don't think that would work. Like, I don't think that's a thing that would... Okay. Okay, hold on.
Having a terrible time.
And also, yes, Gosuke, this is why I'm referencing the lore rights, because the plot is similar. Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay, back to
Las
here.
faltas anteriores.
Esto no es posible.
This is not possible. You
tiempo es
know my
dinero
time is
perdido?
wasted money.
Expóselos
Spoil
ahora.
them now.
Okay. Now I know what happened. So the line is handcuff them now. But except for like even then, like okay, so like to handcuff in Spanish is esposar, to spoil is estropear. It's not even the same word. How did that happen? Maybe like the script was originally like misspelled as well, which is entirely possible because again, Gacha tuber. I don't. That one I'm really like. Oh, by the way, at least I can give some good news right now. If you've seen them in the chat, I think I mentioned this in a previous episode. The Wipeout 18 channel, Wipeout 18 channel has made a return, and is right here. I don't know was going to put comments on the screen, but I thought that was worth pointing out. So everyone, make sure you're subscribed. The Granny's Ignorator Gacha review. I would love to show you like the rest of that video to see if the captions are better on that aspect, but Out and Play is not kid friendly, so not this time.
Bien. Según el registro, aún no pueden ir a
According to record, they
la cárcel.
can go to jail until all of their opportunities run out. I know exactly what's happened there. They're going to say oportunidades, which means opportunities, yes, but in this context is meant to be chances.
Hasta que se les acaben todas sus oportunidades.
There we go.
Y dado que el delito fue leve.
¿Me está diciendo?
Okay, that was interesting because like the delivery on that line, dado que el delito fue leve, that feels like it was like the end of a sentence where it's a full stop versus like an ellipses, like y dado que el delito fue leve, and then gets an interruption. This is what I said. What I said yesterday, that voice actors don't always know when they're like when they have to say something that's not being like they're being interrupted. Like a lot of the time that gets lost because I think some people just only focus on like their own dialogue and therefore they don't really notice that. That's the real reason I can think that would have happened. What color is the guy's hair in the background? Is it gray? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, but it's weird gray. It's weird gray. He's also the stillest character in the scene.
Yeah.
¿Que estos ladrones no irán a la cárcel?
Es según las
Can you tell me these won't go to jail?
normas que rigen desde el año pasado.
Hold on. This last year? Go back. According to rules that have been in force since last year.
Pasado.
¿Qué clase de sistema de justicia es este?
What kind of justice system is this? Becomes the Joker.
We live in a society.
Qué bueno que se fue pronto.
Okay.
Good thing he left soon.
This is what I was saying again. Because the Spanish line did not have pronouns, Google Translate just guessed. Google Translate assumed gender.
I'm gonna sneak away to get some food. I'll be right back. I need to think about what I just read with my eyeballs.
Think about the Granny's Ignorator, that'll make it better for you.
I don't want to think about that. Because, like, it's clear and obvious to me, as someone who's a not Spanish speaker, that the subtitles are incorrect.
Yes, imagine how I feel.
So right now I'm just trying to read and make sense of what's happening. Meanwhile, the script feels like it was fed through an AI and came out the other end mangled and bloody. Use the Granny's Ignorator on yourself. I can't, my abuela doesn't live with me.
I was trying to BB for me, unless I hope it's like a line. Okay.
Sí, ya estaba comenzando a irritarme.
Bien.
I was starting to get irritated.
Pueden irse.
Al fin.
Well, you can go. Al fin! Like, why do you have to say it that quickly? Like, if you're gonna say like, Al fin! Like, at least like exclaim it. Proclaim that you're happy. Like, in that way. Like an, oh, right! Versus like, all right! It's the same idea. Oh, also, when people post asking if we're interested in doing voice acted, so if anyone wants to. Oh, okay. Voice acted ballroom pops. I will. If you do decide to go in that direction, I will definitely audition. Speaking of which, I got one from someone saying someone called Drew, who said I definitely know who he'll be auditioning for. I thought I already put my auditions in. You know what? I'll respond to that later. There's I can't. There's a lot to unpack with those messages. That's the thing with all like other directors with Gacha supplies. Like, you gotta give them like attention, otherwise they're a lot that gets lost in translation. Much like this video. What's the point of the leaf of the police's lady's hair if it's so small? I don't know. Maybe it fell on her. I mean, small accessories aren't exactly uncommon, so. And you still noticed it. Yeah.
Bueno, yo no lo tomaría tan a la ligera.
Well, I wouldn't take it so lightly.
Solo te queda una falta más antes de que vayas a la
You only have one more foul left. One more strike is what they mean to say before you go to jail.
¿Solo una?
Un día más
Just one.
en el que te atrapemos.
What one? Okay, one more day that we catch you. One day that we will catch you. If we catch you another day, I don't know. So is the subjunctive? Anyway.
Y puede que nunca vuelvas a ver la luz del día.
And you may never see the light of day again. Why is that? Oh my goodness! Like even in prison, they like take you outside a few times, mostly to do menial tasks, but they still take you outside to see the daylight. Good lord.
Otra vez. Quizás deba considerar dejar de robar.
Maybe you should consider. Maybe you should consider not stealing anymore. Is the actual line rather than consider just stopping. But I guess that was implied. Fair enough. Which does say to me that the lines were somewhat edited, which is even worse if you can think about it that way.
No. En fin. Cuídese.
Anyway, take care of yourself. Also, those two seem like teenagers, so I don't think any. As far as I'm aware, like no charges to teenagers, even if they do get arrested and incarcerated, would like get them a life sentence. To my knowledge, anyway. Then again, it's the year 3050, and they literally just got a new rules from last year. So maybe this is part of the 3049 Youthful Incarceration Act, the 8th Amendment. I don't know, something along those lines. Okay, you know what? Sorry, going back again.
No. En fin. Cuídese.
¿Que lo dejemos?
Yeah, so instead of like saying let's quit, it's more like quit it, quitting, stopping robbing. Like they, in response to you should stop, like you should quit while at this point, rather than saying like let's quit as if that was a thing that she was like suggesting in her mind. Let's quit. Let's quit. What am I saying, me? Not like that.
Si dejamos esto, probablemente muramos cuando no nos queden más reservas de oxígeno.
Yeah, if we stop doing this rather than leaving it behind, we'll probably die when we have no more oxygen reserves left.
Durante todos estos años hemos tratado de conseguir un trabajo por
During all these years, we've tried to get a job, no matter how small.
más pequeño que fuera. Pero en cuanto a los sueños se enteran que vivimos en
But as soon as the owners find out we live on the streets, they do not reject without thinking to, oh, what's that line?
las calles, nos rechazan sin pensarlo dos veces.
They reject us without thinking twice, is the line. I've got 16 more minutes of this. This is how this video's going now. And again, I picked a video with captions on because I thought they'd be legible.
Y también, esa es la razón por la cual no hay tanta gente como nosotros en las calles.
Sorry, that's the reason why there's not as many people as you on the streets. That doesn't make sense. Not the translation. The translation is fine, but the actual story context. If they reject everyone who is on the streets for being on the streets, then there's less opportunities for them to not be on the streets anymore. And therefore there would be no reduction in people on the streets. In fact, the numbers would go up because more people who end up going to that position, they can no longer leave. So the opposite would happen rather than like. I'm not exactly an expert on statistics here, but even to me, that doesn't seem accurate, logical.
Okay, what I come back to?
Get this. Apparently, being about these two have been rejected from every job they've applied to because they're on the streets. But that is also the reason that statistically there were few people on the streets. I haven't seen a reversal of logic that bad since plants not producing CO2 being considered a bad thing. Oh my. Okay. Also, the police look like they have armor on their arms, which I guess is useful. Yeah, I think they did. The police looked like they had like Wonder Woman's armor.
Jacob, do you want to know how I'm going to respond to that?
Well, the Wonder Woman thing or the statistics thing?
Both. I thought Tiger Vice. What the fuck are you talking
about? Okay, alright. That's, I will bear in mind that means that now, so you don't have to say the word again. Ghost Kitty says...
Are you trying to kill me, Jacob?
You know, I'm gonna miss the speech bubbles they use in Labyrintha. I miss them too. If I'd known this is what was gonna happen, I would have just like picked another video that had like captions on it and just like translated the captions and done like the voices like I normally would. I didn't okay. Oh, okay. The reason that there's less people on the streets is because they all died. Because they couldn't buy oxygen. Are there no like charities that like I mean for crying out loud. For crying out loud, I referenced the fact there was a bunch of like food stockpiled here. That was for a food bank, and it has gone to the food bank. And people have donated those like off of like shopping centers. We just like collected them. And my mum was like a regular volunteer there, actually like goes and like gives it to them so that they can then distribute it. So there's like clearly there's a whole network of people who've come together to combat the cost of living crisis. And you're telling me in this futuristic society they can't work out the idea of like, hey, let's make oxygen more available for those people who can't buy it, because otherwise they are literally going to die. Okay.
This is stupid. This is dumb.
¿Pasa algo,
Dumb.
Martina?
Yeah, is something wrong, Martina?
No te preocupes.
Right.
Seguro que la próxima lo planearemos mejor.
I'm sure that next time we'll come up with a better plan.
Por el momento tenemos oxígeno hasta el fin de esta semana.
For the moment, we have oxygen until the end of the week. So we should not worry so much.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry so much. The line was actually for now we have enough oxygen.
Así que no deberíamos preocuparnos tanto.
Sí, creo que tienes razón.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I think we'd start worrying. Oh, that's okay. Sorry, that's the next line because again the captions are early.
Bien, creo que tenemos que empezar a preocuparnos.
Ah, yes, the classic say one thing and then do the opposite in a cutaway.
Así es, lo han escuchado bien. A partir de mañana no se fabricará más oxígeno.
That's right, you heard it. You heard it right. For tomorrow, no more oxygen will be manufactured.
What?
Huh?
Según reportes, no se ha
Oh, okay.
hallado más de este mineral en...
According to reports, no more of this mineral has been found anywhere. Okay, so once again, going back to real-world examples of this kind of idea, fossil fuels. They are a finite source that, from what I remember from my science classes, were predicted to last us about like 100 more years, and then we would run out. I mean, of course, that was like I was like, how many years ago was it? Like 8? So yeah, we've got 92 more years of fossil fuel sources, give or take, I suppose. And at the current rate, or the rate from 8 years ago that we were going at, that was when they would run out. And therefore, that's why renewable energy sources are so important, and why there's so much time being invested into actually creating them and very, very slowly making them more
available.
Yes, more available, more plentiful, and I guess more profitable too. But if anything, that's what I'm doing. Like that, like an effort is being made. So if they actively knew that, like, mining a resource like coal, for example, you know, a different mineral, let's say mining coal was gonna eventually not be viable anymore, no matter how far in the future it may be. 1,026 years after our time period, after this current year, they can't work out, hey, we're mining a mineral that's a finite resource. Let's invest in some way to reproduce this, or I don't know, maybe like deal with the pollution that's been in the atmosphere for a millennium and make sure that the plants can produce CO2 again. Or how about create a sterile environment, or I don't know, like a greenhouse or something, where you can actually keep plants away from the atmosphere, control the particles that go into said environment, and therefore start producing actual physical oxygen.
Like that.
None of those ideas were
None of those ideas have been implemented. Like, I'm also going to say,
this is Darwinism. I'm sorry, but this
we-
is just Darwinism right now.
This is Darwinism. I am going to throw out an idea of genetically modified plant matter.
Okay, that as well. Yeah, you could like recreate
make
plant
a-
tissue that can conduct photosynthesis. Yeah, that would work
Yeah,
too.
like take an existing plant, throw that into a laboratory, and have a bunch of experts on it. You know, so the oxygen crisis won't happen.
Yeah, I guess that is a thing to there's a thing to consider when like doing something like this, where it's like world building in any form. If you introduce a problem into the world, what you're going to have to like account for is the fact that people will naturally find a solution, and the longer that the problem is there for, the more likely a solution is going to end up presenting itself. So you have to consider why certain things have not happened yet, and so far, those things have not been like a twinkle in someone's brain at any point for 1,000 years. Absolutely not. Okay. I drink to forget, but I always remember, says Ghost Kitty. I do remember that quote from the Running With You Running With You videos.
You want to know what I'm going to say to all of this? I'm going to science. Get some science in your life. Go back to school. Because clearly you didn't pay enough attention.
This video needs more science.
Ironically, it does.
Vaya, me informan que en este mismo instante.
I'm informed in this moment. Hold on, that was way too fast for the captions. Okay, all right. Wow, I informed that at this very moment.
Instante, la empresa productora
The
de
largest
oxígeno
oxygen producer in the country is at a press conference.
más grande del país está en una conferencia de prensa.
I'm sorry, you were informed of a as a news reporter, you were informed of a press conference last minute. Who is in charge of production on this studio?
Canal 2, señora Sara.
This is not a press conference. This is a reporter in the field. Not only did this person not understand science, they understand journalism either.
Like, also, I'm gonna say a whole company in a press conference. Yes. 100% that is how organizations work.
They just cram all the employees into a single building.
It's like they push a button on the wall and it activates the PA system, and it's like, everyone to conference room B. But conference room B is our largest conference room, but it won't fit everyone. Everyone get into the conference room. We will use the people plunger to get you all in.
Yeah, just like it's like cuts to like an exterior shot of the building as you hear like and like slowly everything crashes and like the building topples over to the side.
Everybody in the conference room B, we will use the people plunger to get you all in.
Yes, breaking news. We're holding all of the company right now in a press conference. A question will be asked to all of them. We will hold every single member accountable. Building collapses. We have made a mistake. That's the real crisis. Because if like a mass tragedy happens in the building, no one can make oxygen anymore. That's how you suddenly have a crisis on your hands. If the means of production no longer exist instantaneously. Actually, I talked myself into it. That would have been a better twist. There's like a lab disaster, and the only place that manufactures this mineral, no one else knows the formula because capitalism and gatekeeping. And so for a while, until someone can work it out, they have a shortage. Now you have conflict on your hands, and also it's not set 1,000 years later.
Como dueña de la empresa más grande.
Is the owner of the largest oxygen company. How do you plan to produce more of this product?
Also, like, was that like? Oh no, it was Miss Luthia before. Okay, fine. I was gonna say.
De Oxigeno. ¿Planea producir más de este producto?
I was like, it's okay. Maybe you're right, Ghostie. This is a press conference because like the reporters can't fit in the building because the entire company's wedged in there.
Me encantaría.
Nope, never mind. It's being conducted outside, and there's only one person there.
Okay.
All
Also, go back a little bit.
Yeah. Whereabouts?
Like, stop right there. When the reporter stops asking a question, there is a line that's on screen for like a fraction of a second.
Ah, okay. Also, I love like the person on the right's like, oh my god. Okay. Still not going. Oh, I would love to.
Me encantaría. Pero dado que este mineral ya no está siendo encontrado,
No more the mineral has been found. There will be no more oxygen for sale, or at least not for a while. Next question.
Yeah.
o al menos no por un tiempo. Siguiente pregunta.
I love this, like, how casual she is about this. It's like, yeah, it's not going to be found as well. Next question. Like, she's so bored. Like, no, actually.
No, this is an actual public emergency.
Can you imagine if during the pandemic, like everyone was like this, just like, yeah, everyone's got to stay inside. I know it's a drag. Yeah, also put a mask on if you have to go. Show some empathy. All right, next question. I'm bored.
There would be mass hysteria, riots in the streets.
There already was mass hysteria, but there'd be even more. Yeah.
Yes, Channel 104. Would you recommend your clients to your clients if they have a little oxygen?
Sí, Canal 104.
A purge.
Le recomiendo a sus clientes si cuentan con poco oxígeno.
Obviamente deberían comprar todo.
Obviously, they should all buy they should buy all the oxygen they can before it runs out in the stores.
No! This is a horrible idea. Again, to go back to a real world example, and again to talk about the pandemic.
The toilet paper
1 year
crisis.
before the video came out. Exactly. People started stockpiling things, including toilet paper, but not limited to toilet paper, but mostly toilet paper. And that caused an immediate shortage, which means that the people who got to the stores first got everything. It's the same like scrapers or like PS5s and such. They get all those things very early, and then they suddenly charge like extortionate amounts. All you're doing now is incentivizing extortion of desperate people.
Like, you want to know what she should have said and what would have been the better decision?
Go on.
Buy what you can, but don't stockpile.
Yeah.
So that everybody has enough.
Yeah, people probably wouldn't listen anyway because there's always going to be stockpilers out there that are just out for themselves. But at least as far as like the CEO of a company, she can cover herself. Speaking of covering herself, that hat is going to fall off her head. Oh,
Like-
and also, and Ghost Kitty did point out that yes, this is a little bit of animation, and I just barely clocked it. So yeah, the rich get animated in this world.
Yeah, there has been some small bits of animation here and there, but it's all been very slow movements.
Antes de que se acaben las tiendas.
Probably so it's more noticeable. I think
Take
a lot of
care
people
of
fell
your
into that
life.
trap.
Take care of your life buying oxygen from our company. Thanks, interviewer 1.
No, that's a different line. It's that, yeah, so...
En su vida, comprando oxígeno de nuestra empresa. Gracias.
¿Qué opina
Okay, there we go. Interview 1.
acerca del daño al ambiente causado?
Alright. So yeah, what do you think of the damage that you've caused to the environment as well as your company? Which, the environment damage was caused before the company came in as a result of trying to capitalize off of the disaster that had already happened.
Like, maybe the company, while mining the oxygen, has caused more damage to the environment.
Maybe, although they never say they haven't said exactly what that involves yet. Maybe we'll find out later.
La conferencia ha terminado.
Wow, that was it. Okay, conference is over.
Tenemos más.
Oh, and there's okay, I'm just gonna turn off captions so I can read what's on the screen here. Okay, we'll be back after the commercial break. A commercial break
During
like
wait, okay, a commercial break.
international crisis.
Yes, like what are they going to be advertising? More air?
Probably not. Like, can you imagine that kind of publicity being like, yes, there's breaking news, an entire a possible worlding event. Please do not stockpile. There'll be riots and such. We don't know the state of our entire species. This breaking news is sponsored by ExpressVPN. No, that's not how it works.
There's someone in the chat whom I've never seen before. Hello, Nugget Gacha Life.
I think I have seen that name played before, but still welcome back. Welcome to the Cell Games presented by Heatap.
Más noticias importantes después del corte comercial. Solo aquí.
Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot. Yeah.
We have more important news after the commercial break.
Yeah.
Yes, it is back-facing, but not very good back-facing.
Oh, I'll go back to... There you go. Yeah, I think I have to...
Look at his neck!
Yeah, I think you have to, invert the torsos to pull that off. I learned that the hard way.
She looks fine. The girl looks fine. It's just the dude, because it looks like his neck is his head is on the wrong way.
I mean, because of the way that we were used to seeing gacha characters angled, both of their torsos forwards looks like their heads have been swiveled around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Que lo pienso, sería genial ser dueño de una empresa.
Now that I think about it, it'd be great to be a business owner. I've only you thought that before resorting to stealing. That easy, is it?
No tienes que preocuparte por el dinero.
Mm-hmm. The idea that someone living on the streets would not fantasize about the idea of having enough money to live and not worry about it. Of course they would. This would have been a thought they would have had long ago.
Sí, seguramente sería un desastre.
Yes, it would surely be a disaster, unlike the cataclysmic event happening now.
Why don't you just start our business? Why can't that be the plot of Oxygen? They start a business so that they can afford the prices of the extortionist company.
You know what? Maybe they start a rival business and pull a Robin Hood and perform a heist on the mines of Oxygen and sell it for a more affordable price, or just start an Oxygen bank and give it away for free. That would have worked.
Oxygen for the less fortunate.
Yeah, so that you can breathe easy. That's your tagline. You're welcome. Also, she asked about a noise where that came from, and there was no noise. Gotta love no sound effects.
Like, there should be panic happening, but there's just nobody else is speaking or making any noise.
Yeah. Everyone's like, we should have actually fixed the trees.
It looks like pandemonium, but it's not pandemonium. It's silent panic hour.
Maybe they're all saving their voices so they don't have to exhale as much.
But that would, be counterproductive to the point, because two of them have their mouths open.
Yeah. I guess it will also be counterproductive, because that means if they exhaled, they would produce more CO2, like the plants are apparently not doing.
Bueno. Al menos tenemos guardado oxígeno
Oh,
suficiente.
at least we have enough oxygen stored, right?
Yeah, for a week, according to what you said in the previous scene.
¿Verdad?
Right. And he points out what I said just now.
Solo nos dura una semana.
Bueno,
Yeah, so that's okay. Weirdly enough, that was only solo nos dura una semana. Solo nos durará would be like the future tense. It will only last us a week, rather than like it lasts us a week, like frequently on a regular basis. No. So again, the English line is the fixed version in that case. Weird.
bueno, no importa. Se me acaba de ocurrir una idea para conseguir
Never mind.
oxígeno.
I just had an idea to get oxygen.
Espera,
Well,
espera.
You're not
Wait,
thinking
I'm not
about...
thinking about.
No estarás pensando en...
Muy tarde.
Too late. Is that the mansion from Smartphone? I only said it because I watched Smartphone Abridged a few months ago. I love sliding. Isn't it the best?
¿Seguro que es este lugar?
Are you sure it's this place is the line? Again, anything with a pronoun will always be wrong, even if the pronoun is it.
100% segura.
Okay. Again, to go back to the word segura, or seguro, because that'd be the masculine version, either way, it can mean safe, but in this context, it means sure. I say this again, if Google Translate's given options, you gotta check it's the right ones first. Especially if the one line you have is 100% sure, it will probably tell you if it's just two words you're putting into it.
Okay.
Not even that, because you don't have to put in the 100% part. That's already done for you.
I send this regard to the Spanish and English, to the Spanish people in Jacob's audience. Please do not put your scripts through Google Translate. I have no idea what's going on, and I only know what's going on because Jacob...
Yeah, I think you cut out halfway through that, but you said the important part. I think the only people who watched me that would be like influenced in that way would be like Alvaro. Then again, Alvaro would probably enjoy this more if I actually read this in Spanish. Okay.
Por lo visto, se ve que hay mucha
There's lots
gente.
of people.
Yeah.
Quizás
Maybe
sea un poco
difficult to
difícil para
enter.
entrar.
Si eres lo suficientemente rápido, será fácil.
If we're
Yeah,
not...
if you're fast enough, it'll be easy. If you're fast enough, it'll be easy.
Also, she has
Entonces,
earrings suddenly.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Where did
Oh,
those
you're
come
being-
from?
She's buying jewelry instead of oxygen. Unless that is the oxygen supply. That's secretly like a repainted version of the mineral itself. They're gonna make their own lab. This is now Breaking Bad.
Actually, no, that would be effective because they could synthesize the material necessary
Exactly.
through
There's so many ways.
scientific means.
How many alternative solutions have we like thought of in the
At
time we've been
least-
watching this?
At least 6.
We're not even halfway through the video yet.
plan es entrar sin que nadie nos vea, llegar a la habitación donde tiene...
I guess they are doing a heist at least, so that's one thing they got right. So yeah, the plans are going without anyone seeing us, get to the room where they have that big oxygen container and refill a few bottles, right?
He guardado ese gran contenedor de oxígeno y rellenar unos cuantos frascos, ¿verdad?
Correcto.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, correct. they were moving way faster than the footprints were. I guess that's why there's no any sound effects in this. That's the one weakness area on the technical side.
Like, to which I understand, because that's also my weakness area on the technical side. Jacob, you've seen my editing. You know how bad it gets.
It's also more apparent with you because you don't like add music. Anyway. Okay. She said as in like the ha part before she even like saw that before they whizzed past. You gotta do that first and then have her say, "Hi, I think I saw someone." Maybe it was my imagination.
Isabel, se supone que deberías estar
Isabel, aren't
limpiando.
you supposed to be cleaning? She is. She just stopped for a moment to look at something.
Yeah, she stopped for like a split second. Okay, all right. Oh, Ghost keeps asking, do we know again our protagonist names? Well, we know Martina, which is the main character, and I think that the orange head guy, his name is Blas. I think that's because I skipped the part where Martina says his name.
Si quieres un ascenso, deberías seguir las normas.
If you want a promotion, you must follow the rules.
Yeah.
Ve al pasillo del segundo piso, por favor.
Go to the corridor on the second floor, please.
Sí, lo siento, jefa.
Sorry, boss.
Enseguida voy.
Over your head. Like, I'm just going to say, that was really weird. She stopped for a split second and was chastised immediately.
Yeah.
Supuestamente en la habitación de al lado se encuentra.
Okay. Admittedly, that was unfair because it's very rare for this to happen, but sometimes they'll be like, you can like change the order of certain words in Spanish. So normally we'd say like, supuestamente se encuentra en la habitación de al lado, rather than en la sala de al lado se encuentra. But you can get away with that because it's kind of like the same way that like Old English, we sometimes like use it for like, you know, for like dramatic effect. It's Old Spanish. But again, Google Translate's not equipped for Old Spanish, so it doesn't work.
Vuelvo enseguida. Avísame si alguien entra.
I'll be right back. Let me know if someone enters.
Claro.
He's in the bath. Like, you guys. Okay, slow it down, Just a second. Look at the background. They're in a bathroom. There's a bathtub right next to the orange guy, and there's a sink behind them.
Yeah. I think
Is that where they store the oxygen? In the toilet?
room in the room next to it. Or maybe the room next to it is the actual toilet. Interesting editing there. That's the lady who runs who runs the big company. So stealing directly from the source. Standing next to an alternate version of Silas.
Silas, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
¿De nuevo? Esta vez de lo que vi.
This time this time I know what I saw, but I didn't have a reaction to it.
Bien, era la habitación correcta.
At least like act surprised. Anyway, also this is where you're meant to say like great or good. It was the right room, not well. To quote Studio C, good and well are different.
Ahora tan solo voy a...
Now I'm just going to... Absolutely nothing happened. Oh no. I am a fan of like the speeding effect, although I do question how exactly they pull this off.
Like, maybe like go back for, since we're on YouTube, maybe just like go back a second and I can like...
Well, I meant like in universe, but we can also like work this out too. Yeah. Okay, it is just a simple matter of like blurring out the person and then very quickly going from one keyframe to another. So as far as it is, like you can see in the background there for like a split frame, she's hiding behind herself.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, on a technical level,
a bit of squash and stretch action going here.
And there's no actual like foot motion because I guess it's too fast under normal circumstances to really detect that with the naked eye.
Por poco me descubro.
Oh yeah, and that was those cross and stretch, yeah.
Espera, ¿me vio?
Wait, wait, did you see me? I mean, you're not hidden at all right now.
Yeah, you're really obvious. I'm pretty
do
sure the people in the neighboring building can see you, like pretty obviously.
Yeah, I do appreciate the masking though.
Yo puedo hacer esto.
I can do that. Oh, so now so now because of the pronoun issue, we have yo puedo hacer esto rather than puedo hacer esto, because again, you don't need that. But yeah, it was like weirdly emphasized as if like we need to get this into here so the translator will actually pick this up.
Solo debo confiar en mí.
I just have to trust in myself.
¿Podrías decirme qué haces?
Could you tell me what you're doing?
Oh, big monster.
Yo vi a alguien entrar y...
Yeah, again, you're saying jobi. So again, there's a conscious effort here to make sure that the translator will like pick it up, which is yeah. Which is weird because you could just like edit. If you know it's going to be a problem, just edit the translation that comes back out again. Or is it too much effort to like try and like edit captions on YouTube, even though there's literally a feature that allows you to like pause the video automatically while you're typing, so you don't like lose your spot.
Aquí no hay nadie.
There's no one here.
Entonces supongo que me voy.
In that case, I guess I'm going. Or I guess I'll go, rather.
Realmente vi a alguien entrar.
I really saw someone go in.
Qué raro.
Oh, weird.
Llamaré a la policía, así que mejor no intentes hacer nada.
Okay, so he does know. I'll call the police, so you better not try to do anything.
Espera, no. No puedes hacer eso.
Wait, no, you can't do that. I'm one offense away from the rest. Yeah.
Oh, no. Claro que puedo.
Oh, no. Of course I can, rather than just of course I can.
¿Quién dejaría libre a un ladrón luego de que éste intente robarle?
Who would like just gonna read the line again.
You don't have proof that he stole something, do you?
Yeah. Who lets a thief go free after he, in this case she, because again pronouns, comes in to try and steal from you? I mean, a valid question, but a valid question also is who covers for a thief who tries to steal from you?
Buen punto, pero no
Good point.
tienes pruebas de que haya robado algo.
We don't have proof that I stole something rather than he, again, lack of pronoun.
¿Sí?
Hay cámaras, ¿sabías?
There are yeah. Did she really not think there would be cameras?
Yeah, apparently.
She didn't even like try. She's wearing a hoodie. At least like try to conceal your face.
These two are like Jesse and James, a level of thievery, and I mean from the Pokemon anime, the actual iconic duo they're named after.
What? I thought they were named after one person, Jesse James.
Yeah, they are. Mistake on my end.
Okay, yeah. So it's definitely not like Jesse James was more intimidating. Jesse and James, on the other hand, yeah, absolutely. These two need a talking cat to tell them when their plans are ridiculous, but not all the time.
Like these two not only need a talking cat, but they actively need like thievery schooling.
Yeah.
Because these two are really ineffective with being sneaky thieves. They are fast, and I will give them that.
To protect the world from devastation, to restore the world with oxygenation.
To restore the world with oxygenation.
To denounce the evils of capitalism, to not get caught or will go to prison. Okay.
Déjame explicarte.
At least let me explain to you.
Pero por lo que más quieres, no llames a la policía.
Okay, por lo que más quieras is like, what would the accurate translation be? Not for what you want, because what he wants is to call the police. God, I'm drawing a blank here. But look, like it's one of the things where like I know what it means, but how do I convey that? Under no circumstance. That's not how it's working. That's just like an automatic reflex. I think like every bilingual person has like a hand gesture default they go into when they're trying to explain something, even though it helps no one ever.
Like, you want to know what this main character could have done to stay more hidden? Instead of hiding behind, like, the arm of the couch, they could have just jumped behind the couch.
Yeah.
There is plenty of room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
She is a protagonist, but she is an actual idiot. These are the most ineffective thieves ever.
Yeah. The best I can do to say is like, it's por lo que más quisieras, but like, no matter how much you want to, please don't call the police. It just sounds way better because it's an actual phrase. Anyway, I guess that's like, I don't even know what I would put as a translation there. You know what? I'll give that one a pass. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
En serio, no quiero ir a la cárcel. Yo.
I really don't want to go to jail. Like...
Ahora que lo mencionas, nos sobra un poco de oxígeno.
Now that you mention it, I think we're for little oxygen to spare is what they mean to say there, not leftover. Leftover implies you've used it all. You have a lot more to spare. Like, you're the building that manufactures the stuff. Of course you have some to spare. But like, God, okay.
Like, you want to know what I think would have been a better plot to this?
Any of the ideas that we've had?
Yes, any of the ideas. Like, maybe they start a secret laboratory. Like, you know, maybe instead of just stealing oxygen bottles, they actually get a sample of the oxygen rock. And then they start a secret laboratory, I guess in the dumpster, and just start synthesizing crystals of the stuff.
Again, this is really sound like the plot to Breaking Bad. I'm gonna make crystal oxygen. My oxygen is pure.
Yeah, but instead of like Breaking Bad, they're manufacturing something that could be a net positive instead of cocaine. Was that what Breaking Bad was about?
No, it was crystal meth.
Oh, I thought they were making cocaine. I haven't watched Breaking Bad.
Neither have I just know the plot. I know like some of the quotes. I know like I'm the one who knocks, and that's basically it.
¿En serio?
Pero no quiero volverte a ver por aquí.
I don't want to see you around here again.
Y más te vale que nadie se entere.
And that says, and you better not know about this. The actual line is, you better make sure that no one knows about this or no one finds out about this.
Nunca rompo mis promesas.
I never break promises. I also didn't promise you anything, but I'd never break them.
Por fin.
Finally, I was wondering why you were taking so long. I heard voices in the other room, but didn't check.
Ya me preguntaba por qué tardabas tanto.
Solo vámonos de una vez.
Let's just... What? Okay, the line is, let's only do this once. As in, like, you know, because she's made a deal. Except for the fact you don't know how long the shortage is going to go on for. If at all. The human race probably has 1 week to live anyway, but still. Let's just get out there once. I don't even know how that even came out that way.
Like, at this point, it's quite literally people are going to be rioting in the streets. They're going to be stockpiling oxygen. The human race is going to die out in a couple of days because nobody in this world knows how to science at all.
Tenemos lo que necesitábamos.
Unless... Hold on. I think I know where this might be going.
Esto solo acaba de comenzar.
It's only just begun. Oh, look, an actual thief who comes in the dead of night, and also...
Oh,
and
look,
also is
an
wearing a
actual
hood.
thief with an effective plan.
Exactly. Go in when it's dark, wear dark colors, even if they're outlined black, which is not the best, but still. And cover your actual face. Especially because you have such a bright pink hair. That must be very unfortunate for you in this situation. Is she swimming like her own living room? This does not feel like the same building.
This doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It is, however, evidence of background manipulation, which I like, because this of course occurs immediately as like the maze living room, but also that chair wasn't there, and the skyline is entirely different because of course a different time of day.
Las mañanas son muy acogedoras, por eso me encantan.
Mornings are always very cozy. That's why I love them.
¿Ah? ¿Dónde está?
Where is it? Where is what?
What are you looking at?
I don't know. There's no sound. There's no sound effect. There's like no cues to them.
No puede estar pasando justo en este momento.
They can't be happening like just right now.
No tiene nada de qué preocuparse. Encontraremos a los responsables lo antes posible.
You have nothing to worry about. We will find the person responsible as soon as possible. Weirdly enough, what they said there was la responsable rather than el responsable. The reason I bring that up is because normally with like any version of the Spanish language, whenever there's a doubt between like masculine and feminine, you always default to the masculine because there aren't really like they, them versions of pronouns in Spanish at the moment. They're starting to, people online are suggesting different they, them ones, but they're all unofficial as of right now. So everything defaults to masculine. Unless you know the person is female, which implies that this officer has a bit more inside knowledge than she's letting on.
Nothing to worry about. We will find the person responsible as soon as possible.
Yeah, see that line there, bit of a mystery. That's actually where like English has an advantage as a language in general because actually this might be a little bit of a tangent, but Star Wars: The Last Jedi, as a title, like part of the mystery behind that was, of course, who is going to be the last Jedi? Who could that apply to? And blah blah blah. I, of course, never had that question because I found the title in Spanish. Because as it turns out, the title in Spanish is not El Último Jedi or La Última Jedi, would be the female version, if it was referring to someone like Rey, for example. It was actually Los Últimos Jedi, which means the last Jedi, plural. Because I forgot the plural of Jedi is just Jedi, which gave away that the title of the movie was referring to multiple people, the last light of Jedi, rather than one specific person. So, no mystery there. Ruined by language comprehension. There you go.
Espero sea como dices.
I hope it is as you say, not I hope and be as you say.
I hope it be as you say.
Mm-hmm.
No habrá sido.
It wouldn't have been.
No, in fact, it's not.
Yeah.
No, seguramente fueron ellos.
Okay, but surely it was them. Again, in this case, ellos was like them plural, like the actual pluralization, because again, no they them pronouns in that way in Spanish, which means that this guy must know there's more people to this organization. So if like the main two are Jesse and James, pink-haired character here represents like the rest of Team Rocket that actually get their job done.
The parts of Team Rocket that aren't chasing around a 10-year-old with an overpowered Pikachu.
Exactly. Like Cassidy and Butch, for example. Also based on one person, Butch Cassidy. Oh, my phone's running out of battery. Gonna plug that in.
You better.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise I can't see chat. A thief with bright pink hair, such a wonderful combination, says Ghost Kitty. Just yeeted that broom. Yeah, no given direction because you can't hear anything because there's no sound. Alright.
¿Tiene idea de quién pudo haber planeado esto?
Ni la menor idea.
Do you have any idea who could have planned this? Not the slightest idea.
Incluso revisamos las cámaras de seguridad.
We even checked the security cameras, but for some reason they were disconnected. Well, gee, I wonder what reason they could have been disconnected. Maybe because someone was planning to rob you and did?
Pero por alguna razón fueron desconectadas.
Quizás este sea el mejor momento para por fin.
Maybe this is the best time to finally what, propose? imagine that. Just like, I mean, I know that I know this is a bad time. I know that you've
I know the world is about to end and you've just been robbed.
Which is precisely why. I mean, you know, since the world is going to end in a week's time through lack of oxygen and action to attempt anything, and she's like, for the love of everything, get up right now. Every church in the world has like crammed with a bunch of couples trying to get their spot. All the priests are like, I now pronounce you all husbands and wives. Wait, doesn't that mean we're all married to each other? I don't care.
We don't have enough time to sort this out legally, so it's going to have to work for the moment.
Okay, everyone line up. Grooms on this side, brides on that side. Brides, do you take the grooms as your lawfully wedded husband? We do! And then...
Are we all married? Yes.
And then
we don't have the...
Then you have like the lesbian brides who all like line up on the same side based on the instructions, but have now just agreed to marry the grooms by accident.
Isabel, necesito hablar contigo.
Isabel, I need to talk to you.
Claro.
Of course. I suppose like that fire is starting up and over again. Which, by the way, can I point out, does anyone want to have a guess as to what chemical in the air produces fire? Ding, ding, ding! Bingo! Oxygen! Which means this room must be oxygenated. I'm so glad I caught on to that. How to create a science fiction story? Ignore science, I guess.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm, Jacob. I'm going to have a medical emergency on stream.
I thought this video was going to be good.
Listen, I think the curse has returned, Jacob.
I really hope it hasn't. Because last time we had a video series set in the future, it broke the curse for you.
Here we are in the future, and it sucks.
Guy, listen, this is a bad time the world's gonna end, but will you marry me? Girl, are you serious? The world is literally about to end, that's your main priority. Exactly. Also, Prism is saying it's like, hi, Barbie. Okay.
Okay. I can't get over they do have a laboratory.
Yeah.
¿Recuerdas la investigación de la que te hablé?
Do you remember the investigation I told you about? For the record, that line was said as if that was if a person was reading and had just seen the line for the first time.
Por supuesto.
Like a Barbie.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. I must say I've only seen like part of the Barbie movie. I tell you what, here's how I've seen the Barbie movie, or part of it. Not proud of this, but the movie came out like while I was away. I was in Italy at the time, and I said, "Oh, well, you know, we could always like." I was like with friends, like, "What we go to the cinema some point? Wouldn't it be fun to like watch the Barbie movie in Italian or something like that? See if we understand most of it." Because again, this was with my Spanish speaking group, so we would have like understood like basic, we'd have like a vague idea of the Italian that was being spoken to us.
Also, Ghost Kitty
Italian.
has a valid point.
Oh, okay. I'll continue that thought later. If it's bad for anyone who has asthma in this world, oh, they're all dead. They didn't make it this far.
Yeah, that would be like the most logical conclusion.
I guess it wouldn't matter if you're trouble breathing when there's nothing to breathe. Which also raises the questions like how this oxygen thing works. Is everyone holding their breath all the time unless they're speaking? Just taking in like other like air particles?
You know, unless the liquid oxygen in the system fills their lungs like an actual liquid and just kind of sits there until it's depleted.
Maybe, yeah. Also, Prism says, I'm Italian. I'm Italian citizen too, so watch stuff in Spanish because it's similar. Yeah, yeah. There you go. You see what I mean? Yeah, it's honestly like Spanish is more similar to Portuguese, and if you know the history of Portugal, you know exactly why that is. So it's easier for me to understand Portuguese than it's Italian, but I do get like basic Italian. But yeah, I was saying like, oh, wouldn't that be fun to like try and like challenge ourselves or something? It's like, well, we didn't have to. We could watch the Barbie movie like right here. It's like, what do you mean? How are we going to do that? It's still in theaters. It wouldn't have come out on like streaming services or like home release yet. And they were like, well, if you know where to find it. So because of that, I have seen part of the Barbie movie in like extreme low quality. I think with Spanish subtitles, maybe not. And so it took me a while to realize like that's what you referred to with like, hi Barbie. Okay. I gotta finish that. Now I've actually got the subscriptions I need to watch it properly, so to speak. Okay, how would inhalers work in this world? How do inhalers work in general? I generally don't know. I actually don't know that either. Oh, looks like the stream is loading.
Like it would. Yeah, I think that's another avenue the creator didn't think about.
Yeah, but it's a shame because like if you set this like only like 15 or 20 years in the future rather than 1020, you could have got away with that because again, by this point, they would have needed to have already found solutions for a bunch of this stuff.
¿Dónde descubriste que?
Hold on.
¿De la que te hablé?
Por supuesto. ¿Dónde descubriste que?
Yeah, of course. Where did you find out that? And that was actually an interrupted line. I will say I think Isabel is probably the best voice actress so far because I think she's doing a character voice. That's my suspicion, at least. And she's still like very flat. Like a lot of the other, like everyone else, is flat too. But she's a little bit less flat as a result.
Baja la voz. Aún nadie puede saberlo.
Lower your voice. No one can find out still.
Estoy a punto de conseguirlo, pero necesito.
I'm about to get it rather like achieve the goal, but yeah.
Una muestra del oxígeno.
Need a sample of reserve oxygen.
De reserva.
Okay, so this guy just let a random thief walk away with a bunch of oxygen reserves, without, but because they had a bunch to spare, because you know they manufacture it, so of course they would. But this guy who's very high up in this company apparently may or may not have a thing going with the CEO, doesn't like have access to anything anymore. Was there no other like secret vaults or anything where they stored like other versions, or did all the oxygen at once get stolen by one shadow organization for the entire world.
Oh my gosh. And they didn't even keep like the reserve oxygen in like a laboratory. It was like a canister thing in an empty room. The reserve was front and center too, so it was the most obvious thing in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ghost Kitty's saying, I'm taking notes in case I want to do my own apocalypse story. And I don't mean a zombie apocalypse story. I've never progressed a zombie apocalypse story somewhere. Oh yeah, because of my zombie girlfriend, right?
Pero lo acaban de robar la noche anterior.
I just got stolen.
Exacto. Por eso ahora es la mejor oportunidad de obtener una muestra sin que se den cuenta.
Apparently now's the best opportunity to take an example without them knowing. Just ask for one. You're in the building. So, if anything, the world is desperate. Just ask the CEO if you can replicate the oxygen, and she'll probably approve. She wants people to still buy the rest of it, right? Which reminds me, if she's saying to buy the rest of it, that means there's still some that have been shipped out to retail stores. Just use some of the actual money you have and buy a sample.
Solo
like,
debemos
just
conseguir
send
esa...
the maid out with some of your, like, I don't know, bajillions of oxygen money and go buy some samples.
Yeah, also, look, warehouse. They have a warehouse. Before the authorities. Are the authorities going to, like, come and confiscate the rest of it? That wasn't implied earlier. And would they even have, like, the legal right to do that?
I don't know.
I mean, morally, that makes sense to distribute it among the people while they still can. But legally, this world seems to operate on, like, you know, companies control everything, or at least, like, the company that has, like, the main product people would need. Again, similar to the Lorax. But no, I guess not.
Almacén antes que las autoridades.
Espera, ¿quieres que averigüe quién robó el oxígeno y recuperarlo?
No, we need to find out who stole the oxygen and get it back. No, Isabel. I would hire a detective if I wanted someone to find that out.
Isabel, estoy casi seguro de quién robó el almacén de oxígeno.
I'm almost certain, is what I was meant to say, who stole the oxygen store.
¿Serio?
Durante muchos años ha existido una organización que...
Many years there's been an organization that opposed oxygen being priced as high. Probably means so high.
Se opuso a que el oxígeno tuviera un precio tan elevado.
Yep, so high.
Como sabes, muchas personas fallecen de...
Oh god, even the captions, look at the... as you know.
No.
And they did say it, como sabes, yeah, as you know. As you know, many people die because they do not have the money to buy it.
Debido a que no tiene el dinero para comprarlo.
They also have wind-up toy mice that roam the streets.
Y esta organización está...
Odd Delarobia, some off-screen somewhere.
Delarobia is off-screen.
Delarobia, I told you this is not going to work. You're not getting oxygen supply, okay?
Like, is Odd here to defeat Xana and to fix the oxygen crisis?
Potentially, and he's using the wind-up toy to get Jim away from the Cadix store supply.
Está en constante confrontación con las empresas que las venden.
Constant competition. So there is a Robin Hood society. So, okay, so the people do actually exist, and they do seem to have the proper methodology. They're actually properly shaded this stuff, and also I'm not going to begrudge like the lack of faces time because it doesn't know what they look like. That's part of the brain.
Es lógico que quisieran robar el almacén más grande de oxígeno para sus propósitos.
It stands to reason they would want to steal the large oxygen store for their oxygen supply for their own purposes.
Yes, that purpose is giving to the less fortunate so people can actually breathe. You troglodyte. You were absolutely
debemos ir al lugar donde se encuentra la organización y conseguir el oxígeno que robaron.
We just have to go to the location of the organization and get the oxygen that they stole.
Exacto. Y sé quién es la persona indicada para...
Exactly, I know who the right person is for it. Which implies that it's Isabel, because why else would she have been brought in right now?
Like, maybe since Isabel saw the redheaded girl who was a very ineffective thief.
Yeah. See, what I thought was going to happen was that he needed like a sample of the oxygen, and he knows the one other person who has a sample right now is the girl from earlier, so he needs someone to like track her down.
That would make logical sense. But
I thought that's where this was going, honestly.
Yeah, that would make logical sense. But
para ello.
I forgot what video we're watching.
Yes, you forgot what video we're watching.
At least he does set out.
Ve a buscarla. ¿Cómo se
Go find it.
supone que la encuentre? La ciudad es muy grande.
Oh my goodness, we're normal person clothes outside, unless, you know,
I think she like literally just left immediately and didn't have time to change. Also, I'm not sure if this is a mistake or not in the in the captions, because again, pronouns. I think this is more like, you know, go find like the person. So like go find them or go find him or her in this case, because again, no, they then rather than it. I think that might have been Google guessing again. Or maybe not, maybe she has to find something else entirely. If this is the location, maybe she's not like trying to find the person, maybe she is the person.
Y solo tengo una foto de las cámaras de seguridad como referencia.
I thought the cameras were cut out. Why do you have the photos of the why have a reference to the security cameras? Oh wow, look, it actually is her. Okay, so Isabel was looking for Martina because Martina apparently is the person to recover stuff, because I'm guessing insert Hank Pym quote here of I want to break into a place and steal some stuff. I know some Marvel, okay? I know some MCU references.
ironic, since this is DC property.
That's not. Ant-Man's Marvel.
No, I'm saying, like, I know, but never mind.
Okay.
Just making a reference to a thing you did for me recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because talk about that stuff. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, also, I'm going to point out here, we've got like a side view, which I guess means that at some point custom art was going to be used for this, but eventually that was scrapped.
I do really like that view. I do kind of want to steal it.
That's not the worst side view that I've seen, which still goes to Sapphire Wings, I think.
Oh my god, what's wrong with his face?
I love the idea that she's like stopped in the middle of the street. It's like, why is this random maid like holding up a paper of my face? It's like, or to my face. Am I on there? I think I'm being more paranoid because I need to get out of there probably.
Oh my gosh, look at that hand.
Oh, you just noticed that there? Yeah, admittedly, she is giving herself a paper cut, and a very severe one at that.
She's giving us, like, I can just imagine, like, she looks so surprised because her blood is slowly starting to drip from the paper.
Yeah, wait a minute. I think I recognize you. Stay right there. Give me a moment. Ah!
Like, I get it.
Can I help you? No, stay still. Okay, I think it's you.
Oh my god.
Is your name Martina? Yes. Okay. Nice to meet you. I'm Isabel. Yeah, other hand, please. I'm Isabel.
If it isn't criminal investigation via self-harm.
I will say I do appreciate like the reaction shot and the perspective this time, like having the front view almost. Not front view like the character, but front. And actually, I think it's the camera being like in the other person's eyes. Once again, I do not see this nearly often enough.
¿Te conozco?
Creo que no olvidas el hecho.
Okay. Do I know you? And hold on, what was the rest of that line?
¿Te conozco?
Creo que no olvidas el hecho cuando casi te descubro ingresando a robar la mansión de...
Where to begin?
Yeah,
All right,
I
so
almost caught you.
I don't think you forget the fact. What she said was, I
don't think you forgot the fact when I almost caught you breaking into the mansion to rob.
Yeah, and what she actually said was, I think you didn't forget the fact that I almost caught you breaking into the mansion, which is still grammatically incorrect.
I'm reading this and I'm like, eh?
This is a misquote of a misquote. Oh, that is something else.
Okay. Like, I think the script was probably in English translated to Spanish and was translated back to English again so that they can make the subtitles.
But at that point, just use the original script and copy paste that into YouTube.
Unless they didn't have the original anymore.
Why would they not have the original?
I don't know. But there are grammatical errors both in English and in Spanish that I cannot ignore.
Oh, all this time I'm just thinking of like, gradually watermelon, gradually watermelon. If anyone remembers that channel. I used to watch a lot of what was then known as Melinda Kathleen Reese, and now is called Translator Fails. And that was like the big video, was the Ed Sheeran Shape of You, but put through 7 layers of Google Translate, and gradually watermelon came out. I think you could like get shirts of that back in the day.
Claro, sí. Estaba casi segura que nadie me había visto.
I was pretty sure no one had seen me, even though I was told that there were cameras and I didn't cover my face. Actually, now that I think about it, what angle were the cameras at? Because that was like a front-on view from the it was a side view, but it was like the camera was down here. Who puts a security camera on the wall? Normally they're like on the ceiling.
Bien, porque necesitamos que nos hagas un favor.
Again, instead of well, let's be good. Because let me just do a favor.
Favor?
Again.
Favor?
Oh my god. Okay. So she doesn't say please, she just says favor. She's like confirming a favor, because please in Spanish is por favor, which literally would be as a favor or by favor, but favor just on its own, I don't even know how that would like translate to please. It would just become favor again. Why did that actually happen? Maybe this is Bing Translator, because even Google probably would have caught onto that one.
Que yo recuerde, no le debo ningún favor a nadie.
Whatever they use to translate this actively is incorrect.
Yep.
Still,
Just becoming Courtney Miller from 2015.
Courtney Miller from 2015.
Uh-huh. Okay. As far as I can remember, I don't owe anyone any favors, is what the line was. Also, I'm missing out a lot of quotes from Ghost Kitty. Wait, is that the girl? Let me just check. Ah! The paper is cutting through my hand! Someone call an ambulance, please! You know, that reminds me of how Parsley would delete the scripts in old Ghost Girl episodes after she was done posting the episodes, but I don't understand why she did that. I mean, the thing is, at least you use them as references, and at least by that point, you'd made all the speech bubbles, so I guess you technically wouldn't still need them anymore, because like if you want to get reference, you'd go back to watch the episodes. I prefer to keep the script so I can like just quickly like Control F search on them, but yeah, other than that. That person at the back has bright red outlines in my eyes. Oh yeah, that's this person right here. Bright red outlines for yellow clothing. Which, hey, Spanish flag. It's no longer Reyes for me because it's past midnight, but still.
¿Pensaste quedarte oxígeno gratis y dejarte ir como si nada? ¿No tendrías su paga?
Weird phrasing, but I guess I might be Latin American. Did you think that giving you free oxygen and letting you go would not have its pay? Or do you think we just let them go for free rather than that?
Sabía que nadie podría ser tan amable.
Knew no one could be that nice.
Knew no one could be that nice.
Mañana.
I mean, I guess she's gonna do it. She could very easily run right now. Not like he can find her again. It's like, well, how tall are you? I'm 5 feet exactly. Interesting. Off you run.
Necesito que vayas a esta.
Oh, I'll do tomorrow. You know that every second counts, right? Because the world is actually running out of the supply to support most of the life that exists on it. Which, now that I think about it, that also raises the question as to like how that mouse has survived. Because unless someone's actively feeding all of the animals oxygen,
maybe that or someone is oxygenating the animals.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's the only way that makes sense. Because like the organization, the people involved in them seem pretty young, as if like they just started this right now, or again fairly recently. If there's a mouse that still exists, again, you think at the moment it's a nice background detail, but actually the lack of animals would make a lot more sense.
You know, unless they're like meat-producing animals, like cows or sheep.
That raises like even further debate as to would it be more ethical to give the limited supply of oxygen to animals versus our own species that are actively like dying in the streets, if the long-term gain was more of a food supply for said people who are still going to be alive.
Who knows? Maybe they're synthesizing synthetic meat instead of fixing the air problem.
Yeah, they synthesize meat and not plant tissue. Someone missed a trick on that one, I think.
Like, no offense, but the whole science of this series is completely wrong. Thinking about it logically obviously isn't going to make much sense.
Yeah. Tomorrow I need you to go to this address. There we will explain everything. Which, by the way, like I said yesterday, if this were a murder mystery, Isabel would be dead in the next scene. We never find out the rest of it.
Nadie se puede enterar de esto.
I remember, no one can find out this. I will say it is admittedly very funny to have Isabel in this position where she's like actively a secret agent with that voice. It's kind of like if Nekawet worked for the mafia, if that makes sense to people. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, that one time you gave Kami the Mafia Don voice?
That too.
Gonna give you a little but you got reviews.
Bien.
Also, está bien in that case just means okay, not it's okay. She's not trying to reassure Isabel, she's trying to agree with her because she has no choice.
¿Será este lugar?
Is this the place? Gee, I wonder. The two people who you know are involved in this plot and said that no one else can find out are right in front of you. I wonder if it's this place. Yep, they're sliding like no one's business.
Llegaste. Te estábamos esperando.
You're right, we were waiting for you.
There they are.
No hagas tanto.
Oh, hey there! We were waiting for you! Yay! You know what? Kermit works in this comparison too. We better not find you mouthing off to people. Otherwise, I won't be the only one who's green.
No ruido. No queremos llamar la atención.
Alright, we don't want to attract attention.
Okay, Silas.
¿Acaso
I can't
esto es
not look
algo
at this and think of Silas.
Yeah, also, did she just seriously just ask if this is a secret or not?
Yes, she
Of
did.
course it's a secret. Why? Who asks someone not to tell anyone about a certain thing if said certain thing was not a secret?
Also, Ghost Kitty in the chat is offering me tea, to which case I'd say, please, I need something. I need anything. I don't even like tea that much. I'll take drugs if you have them.
Oh my. That's what everyone else. Everyone just lurking and lonely in the chat. That's a fair point. Everyone just seems to have like given up on this video. Maybe they can't take like 2 degrees of confusion. One, the actual story, and the other one, the language barrier.
Like, I'm fine with the language barrier. What gets my goat specifically is the fact that literally most laws of science here have been ignored. Alternate possibilities and solutions to the problem have been sidestepped so that we can have a plot.
Yeah, even though you can work within the limits of science and also have the plot work as well. It's like we came up with like 8 different ideas, I think, of things that could be combined together. So like a few alternative scenarios.
Yes, like
Also,
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, or Robin Hood, or both, honestly.
Breaking Hood.
As opposed to Robin Bad. Yeah, Breaking Hood is better. Ghost Kitty says, there's Nekoet. All right, bud, you're going to come with the location of the cache. I'm going to have to make you cough it up. I can't do Nekoet's voice.
Like, I am a big science person. I love my science. But I will say that the science in this movie, despite it being a dystopia, based around the science of no one having air anymore, does not do much of the science very well.
Definitely not. Even with the science aside, just the time frame of how like humans work in general when presented with like problems also does not line up.
Algo así.
You know, unless the humans of this world are scarily inactive people who don't, you know, act until things are quite literally at a point of crisis.
Yeah, and I guess to reference Wall-E again, which also did this premise better, the reason the humans don't do anything on the Axiom is because they are like 7th generation humans who don't know any other life other than the one that they've had on the Axiom this whole time.
That and the Axiom, the actual ship, is kind of a capitalist dystopia, like in space.
Yeah, but they actually if they've had enough time and enough like brainwashing tactics to pull that off and have people not have the incentive to do anything about it. Not to mention as well, the Axiom is not trying to get rid of its passengers. Like there's no like threat of death to the entire species. I feel like if that were the case, and if they had like, if suddenly the Axiom was like, attention, oxygen supply is low. You have 1 week before supply runs out. I think at that point someone would get out of their chair. Just an idea.
The purpose of the Axiom, as we find out in Wall-E the movie, spoilers, I guess. How old is that movie now? It's gotta be as old as I am.
Apparently, it came out in 2008. I think I found that out today.
In that case, this movie is younger than I am. Wow. Wowee. It still holds up and looks great, despite being from 2008. To which case, I'll say...
It rhymes.
The purpose of the Axiom was to keep the human race in space, because the planet was deemed inhabitable.
It was deemed uninhabitable, yeah. And in fact, they actually sent Eve down from the Axiom to find other life, to eventually bring the humans back. So yeah, it was almost a dystopia that was also like working towards a good purpose, which is very rare. Interesting switch there.
To which case I
Yeah.
say the plot of this so far is making little sense because it feels like the laws of science are being ignored. You could replace feels like Discount Wally, but
Yeah.
without robots.
I just realized why Wall-E feels like a movie that like doesn't have much of a comparison. Wall-E is like an independent movie given a Hollywood budget because it stars a non-verbal protagonist in a world that doesn't like show don't tell almost entirely for how it functions and has a political agenda. It just happens to also have a full runtime and robots that was forming sentience on top of that. So yeah, all those things together. It feels like an independent film, but it's still Pixar.
Llamamos aquí porque me debes un favor por lo de
We're calling here because you owe me a favor, which we've already established and was said to us by Isabel in the previous scene, but please do repeat yourself.
la otra vez.
Because of the other time, yeah, okay.
Seguramente ya te enteraste que robaron uno de los más grandes almacenes de oxígeno.
You probably already found out that one of the large oxygen stores was robbed.
Estoy casi segura de que todos en la ciudad lo saben.
I'm pretty sure everyone in town knows about it. This is planet Earth we're talking about. The whole world is like focused exclusively on this building. Everyone across the surface of everything with the surface would know about this.
Sí, me enteré hace poco.
Perfecto.
Yes, I found out recently.
Porque vas a
Perfect.
recuperarlo.
You're going to get it back.
Un momento, ¿yo sola?
Myself?
Puedes llevar a las personas que quieras.
The people you want. Good. I need a crew. Da, 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 da. It becomes the Rick and Morty heist episode.
Mañana te buscarán en la avenida principal para llevarte.
Oh, to look for you in the principal avenue to look for you. Or to take you, sorry.
Pero, ¿a dónde iré exactamente?
Where exactly will I go?
Al lugar donde creemos que está el almacén de oxígeno que robaron.
The place that we think the oxygen that they stole is.
Un momento.
You think?
No sé.
Yeah, they don't know yet because if they check, the jig is up. I don't know.
¿Se supone que deben enviar a la policía o algo así?
Wait, aren't they supposed to send the police or something?
¿Por qué a mí exactamente?
Why me exactly? Well, because apparently, the board of directors doesn't exist, and I can't clear anything by them, or the CEO, who again I close enough to take a photo in the background, was actively placed into this series.
Like, I actually have a slight theory about that.
Hmm?
Maybe, like, the CEO is demanding everyone to buy the oxygen before it's depleted because she has evil goals. And this guy is close to the CEO, but he actually has good goals.
Oh, so the CEO is actively trying to like do a cull on the human race, but wants to get all their money first.
That would make some sense, because the oxygen stores were inside of her house.
Yeah, here's the problem with that idea, though. The suspicions are never addressed. At no point does Silas here decide to mention that that's why he's doing this or why he can't say anything. And Isabel just goes along with it and just smiles away in the corner. It's like, sure, I'll help you with your potentially evil plans while the species is actively dying. I only have one more week anyway, so why not? You know?
I don't know why anything is happening. As we said before, all manner of logic is being thrown out the window when it comes to what's happening in the series. I'm just trying to make some a sense of whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Porque es la policía la cual tratamos de evadir.
This is the police we're trying to evade. Not the CEO, I guess. The police are in on it.
No tendré otra oportunidad para obtener una muestra.
I won't have the chance to get a sample from that container if you don't get it back before they do. Here's an idea. You gave her oxygen yesterday. Just ask for a sample from her directly.
Yeah, that would make sense. That way you don't have to go cut through the middleman. You know, unless she used it all already, to which case I say no.
Yeah, because she had enough supply for another week anyway, but she also took the rest of it for how long? For a longer period than that. It's not even Russian anymore, just gibberish.
Muestra de ese recipiente si es que no lo recupera.
Ah, you watched the Legend of Adventurous clip I sent you. Norvik is really confused. I don't know what's happening.
Antes que...
Ya veo, pero...
Ten, esta es la dirección. Al parecer solo se trata...
Oh, hold on a second. Whoa. So that's the address.
Jacob, my face is...
Eep. I love going frame by frame on YouTube.
Jacob, my face is so red. I look like I'm gonna die.
Oh, you're gonna die of laughter, are you? It did wonders for me.
I want to do it a hog legion. I'm afraid of clones.
I have never tried to do a Chuckles impression before. I am disturbed that the fact I've watched enough clips to do that automatically. And I only just found out about the Legend of Adventurous like 2 days ago.
Like, I will say one thing. Like, the science in this series makes no sense enough that it is funny. It's really funny.
Yeah,
there are so many plot holes and inconveniences that it doesn't make any sense.
And
exactly. Ghost Kitty agrees with me.
I'm just going to be into insanity. What is the story? In the wise words of Scott, I have questions. Yes, I have so many questions. And I can understand what's going on.
Like, I can also understand what's going on, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, the world is in the midst of an oxygen crisis.
Yeah.
None of the plants are producing oxygen anymore, and that is a problem. But for, 1,008 years, humanity didn't do anything to fix this crisis other than to find a crystal that made oxygen.
Oh wow, Gusky knows who Chuckles is too. Did Jacob get taking control of Chuckles the Clown?
But hold on.
I'm always here when I'm needed, and even when I'm not needed, especially when I'm not required.
Hold on, Jacob.
Yeah.
Let me continue lowing down this story for all of us.
All right.
So the magic crystal that's producing the oxygen runs out because we keep turning it into liquid instead of letting the crystal does what it does and produce oxygen within a vicinity naturally, because that's normally how crystals work in science fiction like this. And since we're running out, someone has stolen it. And for some reason, the CEO seems really passive and calm about someone stealing something. That is very
passive and
much
calm about,
mucho
like,
important.
she seemed passive and calm about like the news that broke out that the mineral had run out. She gave the most nonchalant press conference of all time.
And now that we've run out, Discount Silas is going. I don't know what the goal of Discount Silas is, but he apparently needs Cherry to sneak into. Let's just continue the video. I feel like I need to go take a shower. I feel like I need an asthma treatment.
I feel like I need an edit of this exact frame, but with Silas gushing blood from the paper cut as if he's just been like impaled by Cherry. There can be only one. Ah.
Al parecer solo se trata de una organización inofensiva.
Apparently it's only a harmless organism, which is why we can't go, apparently, because they're so harmless that if that they would cause that we would be in danger if we did it. Oh, we can't just talk to them, you know, because of how harmless they are.
Si usas las mismas habilidades que usaste para entrar en la mansión sin que nadie se dé.
Okay, if you use the same skills you used to enter the mansion without almost anyone noticing, aka if you use the same skills you used to enter the mansion where you hid and in the worst possible spot, ignored cameras and showed your entire face, and made it so that I, a random person, saw you on 2 separate occasions, if you use those same immaculate skills, you'll be perfectly fine. Nothing can go wrong.
This is gonna go wrong instantly.
That'll be very easy.
Este será muy fácil.
All Americans concerned over the outcome of this mission.
Te vayas.
Oh, relax, Torbeck. I like where this is going.
Debes saber algo importante.
The Hoglings is gonna get some new members soon. I am breathless with anticipation. Ah! And so are they.
Lo
I guess we're just never going to find out this guy's plan.
tendré en cuenta.
I'll keep it in mind.
Buena suerte.
Good luck. Okay. A little bit of a nice lighting effect. I question why the light is so dark, but it's been placed appropriately. But the whole point of lights is to illuminate things, and that's illuminating nothing at all.
It's producing shadow light.
I think the effect was supposed to that was applied before the dark filter, which, by the way, at least this is actually a very good dark filter. I haven't managed to pull off one like this yet. I keep messing up the color contrast. That being said, yeah, the lights should have been like above it, so it wasn't affected by the same filter. Oh dear. You know, I'm starting to miss how little Demonio from La Venganza talked. I believe that's how it was spelled. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Didn't even like verify if this is the vehicle or not. This could be someone else who's like intercepted the message. Couldn't animate them driving away. All right.
Okay. Pause for a second.
There's Pinky. Yep.
No, I'm not gonna say Pinky. I mean, look at our main characters with their legs submerged in the wall.
I mean, yeah. I think there's like I think what's happening is there's meant to be a front wall and a back wall, but it does look like one singular image.
Yeah,
the more you stare at it, it's an optical illusion.
There is no shading, so there's nothing to indicate there's supposed to be 2-layer of wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's just okay. I'm not gonna question it anymore. Let's go. Let's continue.
Torbeck misses his legs. Ah, yes, more back facing. Okay. More straight ahead. Oh, sure, no one sees that. Can we just, yeah, no one sees that going on? Like the two agents are staring in that same direction. And their heads were above the wall itself. Look at that!
Cherry Girl has reunited with Butch from the Powerpuff Girls. The Rowdy Rough Boys.
Yep, Jesse and James, the main duo. Okay, credit where credit is due. I like how they slowed down and like they went from running to walking.
Encontramos.
Sabía
Found it.
que vendrían.
I knew you would come is the line, not they. Again, plural.
Also, wouldn't it make sense for her to come from the other direction?
Yeah, because she was there before. Unless she like took a shortcut, but oh goodness. Okay.
It's like a Sans Undertale shortcut where she just teleports to the other side of the area.
I'd rather be tortured by Chuckles the Clown than watch this. Well, say no more! Alright, what are we gonna do first? Pulls out like a rubber, like a rubber knife. Bing, bing. Anyway.
¿Cómo sabías que
En este lugar hay más de lo que se imaginan?
In this place, there is more than you imagine. We're not interested. We just want the oxygen, or like a sample. You're harmless, right? Give us like a single sample. We're on our way here.
Debes devolver esto.
We must return this. Oh wait, is this whole gigantic structure not like a door? I thought it was a door. Or was that the container behind her? Because like she's pointing at like the nothingness.
Like that's the container behind her that's containing all of the light oxygen life juice.
There is absolutely no way that's going to account for like most of the world. There's no way that's the entire supply if the company's running out.
Mucha gente podría morir y lo sabes, ¿verdad?
Many people could die and will, as you know it, right?
Mucha gente.
Many people.
Los únicos que morirán serán todos a excepción de.
The only ones who will die will be all except those with money. Can we go back to when they said this was a harmless organization?
Los que tienen dinero. Si esta organización tiene en sus manos.
This organization has this large amount of oxygen in its hands.
Esta cantidad de oxígeno servirá para cerrar.
It will save many lives of poor people who cannot afford it. Oh, okay, so she is doing. That's why. Okay. Again, weird phrasing because it seems like she's saying that if she didn't return it, people would die. But she's saying that if she keeps it. Okay, right, there we go. And
if she keeps it, she will actually hand it out to all of the people who need it and actually disperse it.
Yeah.
As opposed to the organization who will continue selling it for exorbitant prices, even while the price skyrockets because nobody can breathe.
You know, this could have been a moment for a very great ethical debate at the climax of the video, because we've got 4 minutes left. This is like the third act right now. You know, this is where like the action should have risen up until like this point, which I guess it has. This would have been a great moment to see like the two perspectives and like how and have the audience have to decide who exactly is in the right in this situation, and they have to like that'll cause a debate. Because again, I talked about this in the Season 2. I love causing debates about this kind of stuff. Again, you can see that in Fallen Angels. You know, do you think like that the world would turn to chaos if death were to be like turned over in some major way? How much catastrophe that would cause? Or do you side with Adam that someone has to do something, and going down the conventional route is too slow? It's fascinating about that kind of thing. But then you have this situation where you could have had on one end somebody who actually refuses to listen to somebody who's associated with the big company, even if their plan actually would save more people than their organization has access to. Or do they just like try, or just they stick to their guns, but also say, but also like have a still finite source, even if they distribute it to some people in a timely fashion? The problem, of course, is that we don't know Discount Silas's plan. So we don't know if he has good intentions or not. We don't know how this is going to be involved, and we don't know why he needs the sample. And if we don't know the reason for that kind of stuff, we can't debate one side or the other, which means that the organization we're supposed to be rooting against are actively the good guys in this situation. I am all for like giving the audience questions and like getting them to speculate, not giving like all information all at once, but not when it's crucial that they understand that so they can draw their own conclusions.
Mucha vida de gente pobre que no puede comprarlo.
Because right now we're just sitting.
Yeah. Still.
Quizás
Maybe she's right, don't you think?
ella tenga razón, ¿no crees?
Yes. Because, I mean, as far as he's concerned, he doesn't even know the plan either.
Todo este tiempo estoy investigando la...
Oh, now we find out the plan. The literal scene after the whisper, which means it's almost useless to have had that be whispered, because there's no time to speculate and no time to have the mystery ruminate in people's minds. Anyway, all this time and researching the possibility of killing oxygen, that is not a chemical equation.
No, it is not. It's Morse code, but broken Morse code.
I mean, yeah, it's got a 7 and a 4 in it. That's definitely broken Morse code or binary. And it finally worked, but I need a sample from that warehouse which was stolen. I managed to find the winning formula, but I don't have a sample to use for it. What? Did he use up his last sample of oxygen by pure coincidence, and it just so happened to be the winning result? If that's the case, just go to the CEO.
Jacob.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a grandma seizure. Just right here on the floor. I'm going to lay down and I'm going to die and I'm going to perish for like a few hours. And I'm going to wake up and then I'm going to die again thinking of this video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just be like, wow, what was all of that about? Oh, I remember now. Bleh.
Una muestra de ese almacén que robaron. De esta manera el oxígeno será inagotable como...
In this way, oxygen will be inexhaustible, as it was many years ago. Several millennia.
Como lo era hasta hace años. No debes fallar.
You must not fail. He did not have enough time to say all of that in that one whisper.
No, debes devolver estos.
No, you must return no matter what. I could say all this out loud to you and actually have a fighting chance of convincing you. Being the harmless listener that you are, you could give me like at least like one sample rather than like the entire tank, and I'd be out of your way forever. But no, because the best kind of plots are the ones where people don't communicate. I believe that trope was communication kills, right? Was that what it was called? You sent me that TV trope like a long time ago. We'll just call it an idiot plot. It's an idiot plot. Goes Kitty to quote Jontron, excuse me, what? Imagine this whole time that I'm fighting on the wrong side is to the point where they join the correct side. I mean, they could have been.
Importar que, créeme, si lo devuelves nadie tendrá que preocuparse por comprar oxígeno nunca.
Trust me, if you ever return it, no one ever have to worry about buying oxygen ever again. I'm not going to tell you why they would not have to worry about it. I'm going to tell you why I need the entire tank instead of a sample like I was asked to bring in the first place. But no, I'm just going to like carry a massive tank between two people in a vehicle where they barely fit in the back of it all the way across town again, so that someone can use a simple particle that can be replicated with this formula. That doesn't have like a minimum requirement, at least. And also, it's worth pointing out that in the realm of chemistry, we can make certain elements become other elements. Whether by like, you know, firing specific amounts of like protons and neutrons at them so they can like break away into different into different particles, they can become two different things and stabilize themselves, or simply by using enough energy to try and fuse different particles together, which is how we hunt for new elements in the first place. Either one of those would probably have worked to some degree. Like, you know, just take an element that is above oxygen on the periodic table, which, by the way, it is most elements. Most elements are above oxygen in the gosh darn periodic table, and just fire some particles at it and make it go pew and split apart into several ones. They will probably bond into O2. Will be stable oxygen, and you can probably replicate oxygen that way. It's not that difficult. I don't need 1,000 years to come up with that one.
Nunca más.
Pero
Like, I
eso es
just
siquiera...
fire some particles at it.
Yeah, exactly. Is that even possible? We've been doing that for like, we've been doing that consistently almost since 1930 something because of the element hunt. And obviously it was done before that.
¿Era posible?
Confía en mí. Luego te lo explicaré.
No, explain it now. Explain it in this moment here, where it is relevant. Just like do a dissolve effect. We don't need to like have a like Violet Show Don't Tell. We don't need to like have her say this out loud again because we just heard it for the first time as audience members. All we need right now is a dissolve, and someone's like, "Oh, so that's what's happening here." I'll take like here's a syringe. Like, there you go. Have some oxygen. Good luck.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too darn bad.
No creo ni una sola palabra de lo que dices.
Okay, at least they. I was gonna say at least they tried. No, they didn't. They didn't explain the replication thing.
Also, that one girl's space bun is cut off by the background.
It's being lost into the black and white. Hello, friendly ones. You seem to have misplaced some of your oxygen. Wouldn't it be a shame if poor Uncle Wiggly were to take all of your oxygen? You couldn't breathe, could you? I can't do the laugh.
Seguro fue una...
I'm gonna die, Jacob, you're killing me.
mentira que te dijeron para poder asustarte.
Surely I could go to scare you? How is giving hope for the salvation of humanity a scare tactic? How does that work? That's like if I said that, like, if I was trying to, there's make a fear-mongering conspiracy, and I said, by the way, I heard that 5G towers cure COVID. That was. But the government don't want you to know.
But the government.
Better update your EE subscription.
What's going on? Why doesn't anything make sense anymore?
It is extremely rare for us to find a gacha video where every single solitary frame makes less sense than the last. Normally there's like breathing periods.
This hasn't been this consistently bad since Lion Gate.
Yeah.
My face is cooled down. It's no longer as red as it was, but it's still terribly red.
Yeah. Is that a
I've
robot?
never smiled.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Never smiled this much in stream before.
I forgot what that one joke was that like made you like cackle like super loudly. I forgot what it was now. Someone made it in chat. Oh, she's enjoying herself here. Like, wee! I can slide too.
Also, Ghost Kitty is like, Ghostie, if you need to, please go scream into a pillow. You seem like you need to.
Yeah, I left my apple pillows upstairs, but I got this one. There you go.
Ghost Kitty, you don't understand. I am a science person. I do like the research and time that goes into science fiction. I enjoy a good, well-researched sci-fi story if the plot makes sense, but everything's been so consistently bad. Nothing makes sense. The science doesn't make sense. The concept is interesting, and that is why I'm still here.
Yeah, yep. I'm here because I'm a completionist. I don't give up on videos halfway through them.
Oh, give me your wisdom. This is terrible.
Oh, we finally get a sound effect. Thanks, I hate it.
Si recuperar esa recipiente es tan importante, entonces...
If I could get that clip back, it's so important that I won't go. I can't even tell what she was saying. That was so like breathy. It's like that's what it amounted to.
It was like all of those panic noises I was making earlier.
Yeah. What's that thing? Is it a robot? A mannequin? I was like very much to try and make this story make more sense when it doesn't. I'll tell you one thing that does make sense. Having robots do the fighting for you, because fighting takes energy, which costs more oxygen. Maybe that's why they don't want to risk like breathing humans involved in this, so they invested in cybernetics instead.
Entonces no me rendiré.
I won't give up. Also, my friend Blas, yeah, he's not involved in this. He's just gonna stay and watch. I, however, will not give up. I just ran past you. You just. What on earth is she doing? What's that about? I'm sorry, is she fighting her own robot? Like, what? Why not, like, deal with this guy?
Lo tengo.
I've got it, he says. Did that have captions attached to it?
Lo tengo.
Okay, it did. Just couldn't tell they were in the darkness. This seems like a video game where you're like trying to get away from enemies, but like the sprite doesn't rotate. It's like you're pressing like WASD. You press S, you just like walk backwards. It's like, oh no, gotta go forwards again. The enemy's behind me. Also, were they outside this whole time? I thought they were inside. That's why the building was like a void. But no, I guess they just painted the entire background outline black. Which, you know what? That's the ultimate sin here. That's the ultimate. I finally found the definitive version of outline black being used horrendously.
Jacob, my brain is melting out of my ears. It's being kept in by my earbuds.
Oh, I guess.
Also, it started raining and now the robots are disabled. Why?
Because I don't know. Maybe after 1,000 years, God is fighting back. It's like, you know what? I'll film a bone just this once. Ah, yes, a hood. The thing that Martina never thought to apply to herself. You know, she's wearing a hoodie. Also, I think we have robots now that are waterproof. You're telling me that they couldn't figure out how to not make them short-circuit in 1,000 years?
Tenemos que irnos ya.
We have to go now. Still smiling. Where's Pinky? Hey, Pinky was being chased, apparently? Oh no.
¿Por qué justo ahora?
Why right now? Yeah, why not earlier when we didn't have the tank? What a stupid question.
Wait.
They're not taking it with them. They left it behind. Guys, turn around! You forgot your mission.
No tienes ni idea de lo que estás haciendo.
I have no idea what you're doing. Yeah, well, guess what? Neither does the writer.
Créeme, lo sé.
Trust me, I know. No, you... I was told by a person I stole from before and has ulterior motives. Nice effect, but they still didn't take the tank with them. I do like that reaction shot, though, and the train effect in the background, and the sound effects. For once we had a good visual all the way through. On the rumble of the train thing to the rumble of the storm. This way do with good sound design. That was the best 5 seconds in this whole video.
Best try again. Like, the videos look good so far. It's just the story that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Which is essentially what we said like about like yesterday's video, except this one we mean it like tenfold. Oh, I guess you actually did take it with you, even though it wasn't on the train in the previous shot.
Llegaron.
Finally, you arrived. Wrong pronoun again. If I point them all out, we'll be here forever.
Es por aquí.
Yeah, it's this way, is the translation.
Pensé
Oh, and I guess it immediately becomes sunny again.
que ya no volverían.
I thought you wouldn't come back.
Aquí está lo que buscabas.
Here's what you were looking for. Oh, so it just like bottles up normally, and the computer's already running, even though you didn't turn it on.
¿Funcionó?
Pensaba
It worked! Immediately! Instantaneously!
que era algo imposible.
I thought it was impossible.
Hace mucho tiempo, científicos pensaban que sí se podría, pero
A long time ago, scientists thought that it could be done.
dejaron de intentarlo porque con el tiempo
They stopped trying it because over time oxygen became a way to make money. This is just like big pharma conspiracies now.
Okay. What?
This does the same energy as someone who's like, you know, that we could definitely, you know, cure Alzheimer's by now, but the doctors don't want to provide a cure. They want to provide treatment so you can keep paying them for it and blah blah blah.
tiempo.
Also,
El
this is an
oxígeno-
interesting thing I just looked up. You need
Yeah.
a small concentration of oxygen in the air in order for it to rain.
Also, worth pointing out, you know, what is Ghostie, even more poignant than that, what is rain made out of? It's made out of H2O. H2O. It has oxygen in it. If there's no more oxygen or carbon dioxide, how is the water supply lasted all these years? Now that I think about that too, the other thing that we need, I mentioned earlier, they couldn't get water either.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Uh-huh.
Are you? My brain. Jacob, are you trying to kill me?
I wish I weren't. I'm just taking you down with me.
se volvió una forma de ganar dinero. Pero ahora sí funcionó.
Sí,
But now it did work. We just saw it happen. Thank you.
solo se necesitaba la muestra correcta.
Only the correct sample. You had access to the correct sample before they got stolen.
Like, also, Jacob, did you know that wet air produces more oxygen?
I don't actually know what wet air is. Not gonna lie.
Like moist air has more
Oh.
oxygen in it.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I'm just gonna imagine that eventually at some point, eventually at some point, like any humid climates just also happen to die out because there was nothing to support that anymore. On top of the fact that I'm sure there were several like massive fiery explosions on account of the pure hydrogen in the atmosphere that was left unguarded and left unbonded with oxygen. Which eventually would not become a problem because then, you know, fire wouldn't exist anyway because of, again, it requires oxygen.
Rain wouldn't happen because it also requires oxygenation.
Yeah, it requires water to even be rain, unless it's acid rain. If you're telling me that was acid rain the whole time, no, I don't believe you.
Después de un tiempo, parecía que todo estaba volviendo como lo fue hace muchos años.
After what, it seemed like everything was going back to how it was many years ago.
Las personas ya no tenían que preocuparse por comprar oxígeno
People no longer had to worry about buying oxygen.
y el mundo se sentía de alguna forma.
And that feels like the end of a sentence. And the world felt somehow, was how it was delivered.
Más acogedor.
More cozy. Oh, that's what Isabel said earlier. You know, okay, good way to bring it back.
Y así fue.
So it was. You know, we didn't fix the plants. We still have to use this like new formula, which is being sold by like one of the people who was on the board of the same company that was selling us oxygen earlier. So it feels like nothing has been achieved really, but sure, okay. You don't know me, but my name's Si. I'm just the O'Hare delivery guy. And I guess the company's profits go down. Maybe he just did it outside of the company, which he didn't have to do. They already had a good network of distribution. But and it was also created on company grounds. How did he like ship it out of there?
Also, to everyone in the chat, I will actively pay you money to create a better oxygen story. I will help you do the scientific research if you need me to.
Oh, I might take you up on that. I'll definitely do a sponsored writing project.
Please.
There we go. All right.
Speaking of money, I'm going to this stream on YouTube so I can.
Oh, because of the gingivitis thing. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so people wonder what that was about. It's because Ghostie said she was going to give me money to like record Ulrich saying a specific line. So there you go. The life of a paid voice actor. Ramble about gingivitis for a bit. Get money. People in the chat are like, yes, let it grow, let it grow. Finally, freedom. It would be more of a let it grow situation if they actually attempted to replace the opposition, but like the happy ending of this video is going back to the status quo that was already a problem to begin with. It's like if you went like, oh yes, the world has been like ravaged by nuclear war, but oh no, we have a random like rival group of bandits that are going to take away all our resources. The happy ending: the bandits are defeated. The world is still a barren wasteland, but we achieve the goal. It doesn't feel that satisfying.
Josh isn't here, so Ghost Kitty is asking us what the pros and cons are of this video.
Okay.
Yes, I purposefully spelled it wrong.
Okay, the pros for this. Thank you for the for the money. Hey, you. Thank you for the money. Anyway, the pros. The pros are that the video, as far as it is edited,
it looks good visually.
Yes, it looks great. Yes, it looks great visually. The best way to watch this video is to put it on mute. Turn off captions, put it on mute so you're not expecting any sound effects whatsoever, and just imagine the story for yourself. Make it like WALL-E, where half of it is like no dialogue anyway.
Like, watch the pretty colors. Because at least the character designs look good.
Yes. Watch the puppets dance.
The con of this video is that, like, the main cons I have is, although the visuals look pretty, it still has the same problem as the last thing Jacob reviewed.
Just on a much grander scale.
Much grander scale. Like, it looks nice, but the story is near incomprehensible if you think about it for more than 5 seconds.
I can't even remember what I reviewed last time. All my brain can think about is this now. I have no capacity for anything else. What did I review yesterday?
I don't know, but I remember we had a Code Lyoko night afterwards, and I'm tempted to have us do that again tomorrow because my brain is fried.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say, like, just, like, summon Aiden now. Okay.
Like, we could do a rain dance and summon Aiden from the void.
Okay. We'll try that after the cameras cut. But yeah,
But as for right now, the other main flaw I have is that the science simply doesn't science. Nothing, like, there are leaps in logic that actively don't make any sense, are flawed out of, substantiality for the sake of the plot happening.
Yep. So, yeah.
Not to mention the Google Translate subtitles.
Yeah. I think, like,
Bon!
back in...
Bon's here.
Oh,
Bon?
but what did I miss?
Bon, don't watch this. Like, we thought it was interesting at first. But then the science just didn't science. Someone failed their science assignment, and we got to see the product.
It's not just that. Like, all of the social aspects too, and the political ones and the corporate ones don't really align all that well. If anything, lots of corporations make their product more affordable on purpose, especially if they are an essential supply thing, so that people will come to them out of loyalty. And there'll be other companies out there that will try to replicate this anyway, so they wouldn't have a monopoly on it in the first place. In lots of countries, you're not allowed to have monopolies on certain business trades in the first place anyway. So yeah, basically. So all of those aspects that have been interesting to focus on, and the ones that maybe think from a premise perspective that this was actually one of the more original concepts that I have seen in a video, despite the fact that it does take heavily from Wall-E and from the Lorax. It's like it transforms them into like a different way. It has just in its own fashion, and if that were a good fashion, I would be commending it. As it stands, I'm reminded of the fact that 4 years ago, actually now, so I forgot it's January. 4 years ago, I posted the review of Beauty is Pain, and in that video I titled it "Beauty is Pain is a Wasted Opportunity," because it was genuinely one of my favorite Gacha videos that I had seen up until that point. Not many anymore, but it was at the time. But because it actually started off extremely well, and halfway through became a love story, and its plot was ruined. And so, and that I call wasted opportunity. This was wasted from the start. That's probably why I'm going to have to call this episode now. Oxygen was a waste opportunity from the start, or something along those lines. I'll think of a good title. But yeah, this was meant to be like the Reyes thing. It was like, hey, let's see what the Spanish Scotch tubers have like pulled off. And I happened to pick this one. And yeah, at least a shout out here to Ureki-chan, who was the voice of Isabel, the one who sounded like Neko at joining the Mafia. And that was one moment of solace and consolation. I love the idea of like a happy-go-lucky character being roped into this situation. As for everyone else, no. None of the characters, or even like ignoring the world building, the characters at least were like driven in some sort of way. They just could have done way better if they communicated with each other. or if we, the audience, knew a bit more about their motivations than just having to do a lot of guesswork, which again, I'm fine with usually, but not when it's crucial information to have to the story. Which one is worse, this or La Venganza? Honestly, I'm going to say probably this, because La Venganza was, like, it was bad from, like, the character motivations also there didn't make sense at either. Actually, no, even then you can sort of see why Giovanni goes on a revenge quest. He actually does have, it's a much more extreme example, and it's crazy if it comes unhinged, but within, like, the rules of the universe, at least it tries something. And I think it's because, like, it's it's much simpler and shorter, and therefore it destroys your brain far less. So yeah, surprisingly, La Venganza was better. Was this worse than the yin to the yang code purple?
No, this.
That's a tough one. I think the visuals make up for it in terms of, like, over code purple.
Because yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Code purple still still not as good. I guess that also, like, logic also applies to Lion Gate, because Lion Gate was also, like, actively insulting a thing that we care about intensely. So yeah, I guess someone wants to make that comparison.
Yeah, if anything, like, I came in here with no emotional investment. Like, I do like dystopias. Especially, like, YA dystopias are a special interest of mine. Oh, wait! I just came up with a good comparison.
Yeah?
This is the Gacha edition. This is the Gacha equivalent to Divergence.
Oh, okay. I haven't read
terrible YA.
What wasn't that, like, heavily inspired by the Hunger Games, but without, like, getting the point of the Hunger Games?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I can see why I didn't check it out.
Basically, what Divergence is about is that everybody is, genetically damaged. Or everybody within the city is genetically damaged. And they've all been quarantined in Detroit until, the damage has officially been bred out of the citizens.
Of all places, Detroit.
Detroit? Yeah, I don't know why it's Detroit either. But anyway, there are different actions for the singular personality trait all of the people have. Except the people who have more than one personality trait, which are known as divergents.
Already a red flag in terms of character development, having people be forced to have one personality trait. Everyone is one-dimensional except for protagonist.
Except for protagonist and protagonist's friends.
I thought it was like they had a specific skill that they were best at, but not like it was their entire person. Oh no. Divergence
is worse than you thought it was.
Oh no. Well, I guess that makes me feel a little bit better about this, but then again, you just like got to compare it to it, so maybe not.
This is the divergence of the Gacha community.
Yeah.
Why?
I was right, by the way. Orange guy was named Blast, like I thought, and I guess scientist guy was Adam. So there you go. That was I guess that tracks. But also, yeah, I guess I've got to say this comparison. Yeah, Fallen Angels is way better. It actually makes you think about its philosophy. Because I hope it does, because I write most of it. I'm just like checking to see like who else is in here. We've got like credits for extras, good. I forgot who Agnes was in this. Do we have like credit for like Miss? I love the like Estrella-san and Luisito-kun, like two, like the mix of Spanish names with Japanese honorifics. Okay, I guess Miss Luthia doesn't get a credit. Fair enough. Well, that was something. Oh, hey, it's the anime that Aiden likes. Don't know why that's in my recommended. Well, that was travesty. Okay. Not the dubstep. The dubstep credits rolling. Comical story inspired by loving Ganthem as a girl who makes a deal with the demon but slowly regrets it. Death Note? Anyway, yeah, you know what? Ghost Kitty, you do that one. I'll do the Apocalypse story. I want that sponsor from Ghostie. I'll give an executive producer credits. All right. And of course, Smosh is recommended. You know it's going to be in there somewhere. But yeah, as far as that, we've mentioned our pros before, and we definitely mentioned all the cons. Just so many cons. This was awful. But yeah, I'd have to say that like speaking the original language would help in any way, but no, it doesn't. The voice acting, at least, was mediocre for the most part. Everyone was kind of flat, but I could sort of see a little bit of motion seeping through, except for, again, Isabella. Nureki-chan and credit there. And as far as everything else goes, probably direction I would say more the same thing. So yeah, that's that for now. I hope everyone enjoyed that conclusion to a holiday you don't even celebrate. Happy Reyes to no one, because it's past midnight. Yay. All right, we're gonna go, and we're gonna maybe watch some Code Lyoko, maybe not. We'll see if Aiden's around. If I showed you the Spanish dub of Code Lyoko, we'd understand it more than you understood this, by the way. Probably because you've seen it enough times, you just get the context clues.
Yeah, I just get the context clues. Oh, anything would be better than this. The Ghost Kitty also has a thing in the comments. Can Chuckles give us the outro, please?
Be sure to like and subscribe, and leave your comments on how terrible this was. If this video reaches enough likes, I'll give a free subscription to the Hog Legion. And on that note, until next time, farewell.